Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts, Aaron Carlson, Charles Lawson, and Samantha Hamill. Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Yeah, I think we're already
rolling right now.
I think we are.
We just roll right. We just throw you in the snake pit and we just go.
It's kind of nice.
Okay, only half of them bite. Some of them squeeze really hard.
Yeah, we're like
A lot
little
of them just
gardeners.
lay around and don't do shit.
We're like gardener snakes, though. We just kind of stink.
There's no such thing as a
If he touches
a
us,
gardener snake.
we'll give off an odor, and then he'll leave us alone.
Why did I picture that in my head?
I know.
Why did I get a...
I'm so
Why
good
did I
at description. This is why I'm a hell of a filmmaker, guys.
That's
This is what
right.
I tell.
He's a great writer. Very descriptive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is
Sometimes
right.
getting him to stop is the trick.
Yeah, it's hard to stop.
But there's so much to talk about. We need to get right into it today.
We'll just jump right in and not
We
fuck
need to jump
around.
right in.
Yeah, there's always
Okay.
fucking
So
shit to
much
talk about. What the fuck do you want to talk about today?
Jesus.
No, I get it
Right?
because of the guests, Sam.
Fine. What the fuck do you want to talk about?
We're gonna just jump into the guests.
By the way, there's not a.
Oh yeah,
This
you
is not
can
a
say whatever
family-friendly
you
show.
want.
You can say whatever you want. Don't feel free not to be. Well,
Yeah, you don't have to feel
filtered.
proper.
Yeah,
Proper
Fuck that
or-
shit. I don't want to swear.
I don't want to fucking be on your show if I can't fucking.
Sorry, Drew.
Okay, Sam.
Yeah.
Why don't you introduce our guest today?
Today we have Bill Bancroft with us in the studio.
Okay.
He came all the way from Spokane
Yes.
to be with us today.
And Sam is so excited. Aaron can't
I'm
even finish the
so-
question of like, Sam, why don't you go ahead?
I'm
We have to go
literally-
back.
Yeah, she didn't fuck around.
I'm
No,
literally so excited.
she's
I'm
so stoked.
So
She's so
excited.
stoked. Yeah.
I'm
Thank you.
reading his book right now, and I'm so very excited to talk.
Wait, he wrote a book?
Well,
So what? Aaron wrote
yeah.
a book.
Well, he didn't write it, but he told the story, and someone else wrote it.
Okay,
Right? Is that
okay.
right? How it
Well,
went?
yeah,
Or
I recorded little cassette tapes over several years. Just usually when I was in a motel room, when I was in the corporate world, I traveled a lot, and so I'd get a couple drinks in me, go back to my hotel room, and remember how cool I used to be, that kind of shit.
Right, yeah.
And then I got together with my friend Colin Conway, who's a accomplished author himself. I got to give a plug for Colin. He has the 509 Crime series, dozens of books published.
Wow, good. That's badass.
Super author.
Yeah.
Anyway, he got together and we spent got a couple of years just deciphering my tapes and putting it together and writing, and he wrote it for me. But it's
Cool. It's
definitely
a
my
great-
words and
Yeah.
my story.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta ask, how many tapes did you have that were just not transferable because you were too drunk when you were starting to record? Because you said you got a couple drinks and you need to relax. So how many tapes did you have? Just like I don't even know what I said.
Oh, it's
No.
only 6 3/4.
All right, Aaron, just like you, 6 3/4.
Pretty much. Yeah, no, that's perfect.
That leads me into the question I want to know more than any other question I have for you. Like, I have to know this. How in the world doing, like, so you were on the road and you were with bands, different bands you were doing drugs, partying, you were drinking, all this. How do you remember all that stuff? How did
Well,
you remember? Your memory's so good.
Well, that's why the book's only as long as it is, because I can't remember half the shit.
I feel like
So-
you remember so much. I feel like every day he remembers every day.
I for some reason, I do remember a lot of stuff.
Not everybody's a blackout drunk, everyone.
Oh, yeah, okay. Is that just me?
Oh, no, I wasn't referencing you. I could reference anybody in my life.
Yeah, no, I just
dig
I
an
just remember
ex-wife,
stuff. I remember things about my childhood that
Wow.
I'm shocked. I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I remember what I was doing in
Ham on rye.
'64.
Those big moments.
Same here.
Yeah.
That
I'm the
kind of
same.
stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
recently, well, not recently, but probably, within the last decade or so, I have had these memories, and I asked my mom, well, is this true, or did this happen, or whatever? And she would say, gosh, you were like 9 months old. Like, how do you remember that? So I have, like, I do have memories from way back, too.
Yeah.
But not like that. Not a good one. Once I started partying, it's all kind of little foggy.
Well, and I wasn't even being all that facetious, because there's a lot of stuff I don't remember, honestly, and there's a lot of stuff that obviously was left out just because.
Because it needed
He
to
has
be.
been
Yeah.
notified recently, telling him that he totally forgot an entire band that he was in because he just doesn't remember anything that happened that fucking year.
Okay, hold on, guys. Wait a second here for a minute. All right, I'm just trying to act like the audience.
Oh, Aaron.
I got
you
a
want-
name. I got Bill Bancroft, Mr. Bancroft. right? Welcome to Around the Reel, everybody. By the
Oh,
way.
welcome to Around the
Hey,
Reel.
but here's
Thanks
the
for
kicker.
having me.
Thank you, brother, for being here.
Sorry about my overly excited.
Oh no, I love the overexcited, but it's like the flash they do before the trailer. You know, we got to catch the audience, so now they know this guy was on the road doing stuff and doing all this stuff, and how did he
Crazy
remember it?
life.
But we don't know what the fuck he does.
Who the hell are you? What the hell are you doing?
So, Bill, please
Please introduce.
introduce yourself to the audience and let them know your story a little bit.
Oh my.
Just start somewhere. What were you doing that made it so interesting to get you a book wrote?
Well, I mean, you want to go way back. It's the fact that I was as soon as I saw Ringo Starr on Ed Sullivan, February 9th, 1964, I was in the living room with my 6 siblings and my parents. Anyway, I wanted to be Ringo Starr. I still wear the pinky ring.
Oh, badass.
I've worn
So
it ever
cool.
since I could afford a dime ring.
That is so cool.
And so I wanted to be Ringo Starr, but I was also, as I started learning to play drums, I was not very good.
Okay.
And I was always in band and school and stuff. I was always the last chair. I was very small. I just kind of sucked. And
Okay.
but I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And I was the last one standing in my senior year in high school. And I just wouldn't give up on doing it. I never took a lesson in my life.
Wow.
And I just found the right people, and we all kind of sucked at the same level and grew together over the years.
Sounds like us in filmmaking.
It does, yeah.
Yes, I got it.
Same story.
You gotta suck for a long time before
Yeah, brother.
you can really know how not to suck.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know?
That's
Yeah.
the perfect way to put it.
Practice.
Yeah.
You gotta do it.
Yeah.
And we jumped out on the road and just started. You know, this is again the mid '70s, and where it's the world, the music business was completely different.
Yeah.
Not even remotely the same. So you had a booking agent. Yeah, we'll get you 6 nights in Athol, Idaho. You know,
I'm
at
sorry, what was that? Did you sneeze?
Asshole.
What?
Athol.
Asshole.
Asshole.
Welcome to Asshole.
Asshole. I'm gonna change my name to Asshole, Aaron. It's better. That'll work.
I can call you that if you need.
All day long, brother.
Yeah,
You got it. You can do it.
Swelling.
But then you go play, and I remember one review from a bar we played in Cranbrook, British Columbia, 1976. They reviewed the band, and the name of my band was Organized Crime.
Organized crime, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they started the article with "Organized crime is a crime."
Oh.
The drummer couldn't beat his way out of a paper bag.
Oh my.
And when you are 19 years old, that kicks you right in the balls because you think you're kind of cool, you know.
Yeah.
Because I had cool platform shoes and shit.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought I rocked.
Some girls
I
threw
thought you were
themselves
cool.
at
Yeah,
you.
I
some
thought you were
girls
pretty
like
cool
this.
until you said platform shoes.
So that shit that hit you
Oh
hard.
no, he was cool.
Yeah,
was
that's
the coolest
badass shit
back
back then. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, but then you have to go through that stuff
Yeah.
and and again, being in the music business is so different now. You're just out there playing 6 nights a week and just trial by fire, you know, all the cliches you can think of. That's what it is.
So what kept you going
Wow.
through the harsh criticisms that you would get, or things like that would be like some people that would stop them. So what kept you going through that, or what kept you still doing it?
Well, it did stop a lot of people. We had
Yeah,
band members
I
drop
bet.
off left
Oh, I
and
bet.
right, and I don't know. Maybe I just didn't know any better. I knew what I wanted to do.
You had the edge.
The passion.
I
yeah.
did.
There's an edge you have to have.
You know, and I got to give my dad credit. Bless his heart, John Harley Bancroft, my pop, and I lost him in 1978, but
Way too soon.
way too soon. I was just still a 21-year-old punk when Pop left us. But anyway, he convinced me to get a backup plan. He said, "Okay, go ahead, be a rock star if you want."
Did he want you to go into the Navy like him?
Exactly. He
Yeah.
wanted the Navy, but he wouldn't really push me for it. And so I chose baking school
dope.
because and my only degree that I have is commercial baking and pastry. So.
Okay.
But anyway, that was my backup plan. And so Dad talked me, and once I completed that, he became even more supportive and helping, pushing, and I mean, he knew that I had a gig and he knew he was going to pass, and his funeral was on a Friday afternoon, and I jumped a plane and met my band in Kalispell.
I told these guys about that part.
Yeah, and because I knew Dad would want me to do it, and so I was just stayed with it. But I was respectful enough, and I guess learned enough that be smart too. Go be a rock star, but I had a backup plan, and that backup plan helped me many times in my life.
Yeah,
Right
I bet. Yeah, when on the downtimes.
Oh yeah, they'd
in
come
between
home,
bands.
and I was married and kids and stuff. I was baker many times, and so thanks, Pop.
Yeah,
So
that
totally
was
gonna
good.
rock out
No, that was
with pastries.
Yeah.
that was something that I wanted to bring up was your dad and how supportive. How, do you think that carried you through those times of when you got those bad reviews?
Yeah, because Dad always
He
had a
believed
saying.
in you, huh?
Yeah, he had that saying that I always loved. You just do what you got to do. That was his favorite little saying.
Yeah.
And so,
It's a good
okay,
one.
so, we really stunk up the joint this week. But you know what? Next week, hopefully, it'll be better.
My dad used to say something similar. He would say, if you got to walk the walk, you got to talk the talk. Yeah, you got to show up. So if you're out there doing, and you think you're good, you better show them.
Yeah,
That's how he was.
yeah. We were trying to show him that we were good when we weren't good.
Right. Right.
But at least we knew it. We knew that we were learning and that, and I just didn't know any different. I just wanted to go do it, and that's what I did.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, amazing parents just to even let you have a drum set.
Yeah,
First of all,
yeah.
because most parents are like,
Yeah,
hell
fuck
to
that
the
shit.
no.
Yeah, as much as I love drums too, if one of our kids wanted to be like, fuck no. Nope.
My brother
shit's
wanted to
loud.
play drums, and I was lucky enough at the time to be fortunate to have money enough to buy him a set.
Oh, how nice!
And so I went and got a toddler set for him first. He was a teenager at the time, and I was obviously grown. And so Christmas time came, and I put together the toddler set, and I gave it to him just as a joke. And he literally sat at it.
He was playing the shit out of
He
that
was
thing.
playing it, yeah. And then I brought in the real drum set, and I said, "Here you go, bro." I gave him
cool
the drum
is
set.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
It
awesome.
was the best time of my life. I was so happy to give him that.
And how
But
much
yeah.
did your mom hate you?
She didn't let him play that much, and so it ended up in storage, and but at least he had it.
Now, see, one of the first things when I was playing the drums when I was young, but then it's as far as it went, so I'm not comparing anything to what this gentleman has done next to
Sure, but I'm going to compare mine. Go ahead.
But
I play drums too.
one of the first things that my parents saw when they bought the drums for me was the fact that, oh look, there's rubber tops for all these fucking things. Here,
Oh,
that's
no.
gonna be a whole lot quieter.
No,
There you go. There's all your
I
rubber
know.
tops. No, but I mean, it's still you can still hear the sound.
Yeah.
It was just like more than like it was like a fifth of what it would have been. And
Yeah.
It was just if you were jamming out, and then
That stuff never bothered me. My brother played harmonica when he was like 3. I mean, you can imagine.
Sam, we know you're with Aaron, so you're used to annoying shit in your
I'm
ear all
used
day long.
to annoying shit in my ear. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's it. And I was the parent who gave my kid the pans with the spoons.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I didn't care. I don't care.
So
Am I the only one who cares about fucking up a pan? I had a neighbor who did the same
maybe.
thing. You guys remember Krista, my neighbor, when I lived
Oh
in the old
yeah,
house?
yeah.
Amazing woman. She would sit there and just toss the pans out on the floor and give her kids wood spoons. I'm like, the fuck are you doing to your cookware?
Oh my gosh.
I dented a few of my mom's pans too, but I still have my original drum set,
Wow.
Do you really?
the one that's on the
Broken
cover
case?
of my book.
Yeah.
The broken case?
Well, that one don't have that one anymore.
Oh.
But the one we traded that in, that red sparkle that's on the cover, I
Yeah.
still have it. It's in pristine shape.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I have
That's
5
cool.
other drum sets too because I'm kind of a gear hound, so I keep buying drum sets.
When you love something, you keep upgrading your shit.
Yeah, I have a
But
lot
I
of
never get
garbage
rid of
still
any of my
too.
shit.
No.
So I just-
Yeah, I know.
It looks like my garage where you can just you walk
Yeah.
a path from the edge of the garage around to the side, back to the back door, and you can almost get to the other side, but you can't really because all of the shit's neatly stacked in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's gonna change, by the way.
So Bill, you learned on your own. You said earlier, and how did you do that back in that time? I mean, we're talking when was the '60s basically? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no YouTube, bro. How'd you figure this out?
60s, 70s. 80s.
I know. It was a transistor radio,
Wow.
and I put it up on the windowsill above my drums, and I would wait for a song to come on. In Spokane, it was KJRB.
Okay.
And you'd hear Paul Revere,
KJRB.
Channel 79.
Wow.
And so you'd wait for the Monkees to come on, the Beatles, Paul Revere and the Raiders, and then I'd listen and turn it up as loud as I could, and try to play along with it. But the songs back there were only like 2.5 minutes long.
it's
Yeah.
So just when I'd start to hear it be over, and
Then you'd have to
and
wait
wait for the
again.
next one, and just keep banging away, and then my sister Lori, she was a big Cream fan.
Okay,
back then.
yeah.
And there was a song called Toad. That's where Ginger Baker, the drummer, did this solo, and it starts off with a certain beat.
Mm-hmm.
And she came in and said, "This is what you do," and I started that.
Yeah.
And thanks, Lori, again,
Yeah,
because she kind of showed me. She still takes credit for any success I've had in the music business because she taught me how to play the drums.
That's gangster.
But she showed me that one beat.
See, I love
and
her. I do the same
know.
thing too. That'd be me.
So I just played that beat over and over again, and,
Wow.
and it just finally just started coming together. It's hard to
You
explain.
just
Yeah,
started to hear it.
yeah.
You felt it. You started to feel it. Wow.
So a mix between the support and the passion is what got you to where
Absolutely.
yeah.
I was
Wow.
never doubted. I mean,
Yeah.
when Becky and I got together, we were, I was a musician on the road, and so she supported me through
Yeah.
all of that stuff, and
Mhm.
ups and downs, and so I've been very fortunate because a lot of musicians don't get that kind of support.
True.
Not from family, from parents, from spouses. They don't get it, and I've been very fortunate and truly blessed to have that kind of support because,
Definitely.
like I said, I just wasn't that good when I started, and so I had to have that time to develop.
Yeah.
I never, like I said, I never had a lesson in my life, and so
Wow.
I tried to give lessons for a while, and I don't know. Well, this is how I do it, that kind of stuff. So,
Well, I remember you
Okay.
talking about in your book. You talk about the struggle with reading the music and.
oh yeah, I faked it like in a jazz band in high
Yeah.
school.
Well,
I'd stare at the sheet music. I didn't know what the fuck I was reading. I just looked at the sheet music and smiled, like, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Yep.
But I learned it by ear. So.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, is this in Chinese? Or I can't read this.
My brother was
funny.
the same way.
It's a
He-
different language. Man.
Well,
It's
it
weird.
does go. It's sheet music, so it does go up and down.
Yeah,
So,
it does.
you know,
Them down. Yeah.
But I still got an A. So
Hey,
Wow.
that's cool.
That's
You got a
kinda
B for
amazing.
showing up, so it's what it is. What it is. Being an
Yeah.
old band geek myself, I remember that.
oh, there you go.
The talent people have that we tap into sometimes in here on this show is ridiculous. Like to think about you back then being a little guy and learning the drums on your own and then having the run you did is phenomenal if you really break it down. And then any adversity you came in your way, which I know we're going to get into some shit that went down because it's fun.
Oh, some shit went down.
And
Believe
Sam
that.
and everybody's like, I think you already said that, Sam, but you've read at least half his book almost, I think, right now.
yeah,
So
about
you know
half,
more
yeah.
about Bill than we do. So we're kind of
Yeah.
learning as we go. But I'm curious about one thing, and you tell me if this is touchy or not. How did you, being that young, and your dad ended up passing on?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you carry on in this, and why'd you do it?
Carry on in music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was a big music fan anyway. Because even before before Ringo Starr came along, he had me watching Buddy Rich, jazz drummer, and even
Okay.
before that, Gene Krupa, this guy from the '20s. And so and
wow.
he loved the saxophone, and he never played the saxophone, but he used to listen to Duke Ellington, Count Basie, and he loved that stuff. And he always had a passion for music. And then Mom played piano at church and things of this nature. But
Damn.
there was such a passion for music that my dad had that I think that he didn't fight me to. He fought my first perm that I paid for. He did fight that.
I told him about your afro.
Oh, Jesus.
Badass, dude. No
I could have
joke.
retired on the money I spent on perm.
I bet. Yeah, those shit's no joke. I get it. I get it.
But he fought me on that shit. But he really supported me. He saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I credit him for just
See,
being there.
My dad died too, pretty young, and from cancer, lung cancer as well. And I was playing football. I was in high school at the time. So, when he died, I got the scholarship. I go into college. I'm playing, and within 2 years, I quit. I didn't have him anymore. Like being there, he was like the only person in my family or my little sphere I had that always kind of kept me going, if that made sense.
Oh.
You know, his encouragements, just him being there, seeing his fucking face, you know, anything, just always motivated me. And so I kind of lost my motivation. That's why I asked you that. I mean, here you were, instead of, you know, your father dies, obviously he was important to you. You're doing this music thing, you got the bacon stuff, you ready, you got a life in front of you, but you didn't feel any kind of resentment, anger, like unfairness to you, like what the fuck, why my dad?
Oh yeah, I went through all that. I mean, I felt, you know, I'm the youngest of 7 kids, so
wow.
I spent the less time with my dad than any of them, and so, you know, over the years, has there been not resentment at family or anything like that? Like, shit, I really would have liked my dad to be around.
Like
right.
resentment,
you know, I
at
really
life.
wanted my dad to meet my wife, and my kids.
Correct.
That kind of resentment's like, shit, man, why didn't he get the? And he died when he was just barely 61 years old.
Wow.
And so but again, that's one of the things. It's the last thing he knew of me, that I was a drummer, I'm a musician. I was very serious about it, and he was very proud of me for that. And so I was not going to walk away from that.
Yeah.
And the fact that if he was that proud of me, how dare me step away? You know.
That's right.
So
I get it.
So in his honor, you carried on.
Carry the fuck on.
And he knew you had a backup plan.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
I
He made sure.
I did my fucking job.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And he was very adamant on that. And like I said, we fought a lot, and finally I said, fine, I'll go to school. I'll be a baker, you know, and because I just, so it worked out.
Yeah.
And
That's dope.
And you made a life out of it.
I sure did.
The whole deal.
Man.
It's crazy.
Very
I
lucky.
love the dilemma that you had with your manager at the time. Was it Jeannie?
Jeannie
and
Carter, bless
she-
your heart. You.
What's that story?
And she didn't.
Bless
She
her
didn't
heart, you
want.
pain, yes.
She told him not to go to his dad's service and go to his gig
What?
that he had, and so he had a dilemma there that he had to face.
But I made it work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeannie, you know, she passed when she was just 42 in a car accident,
Oh,
and you know, and I'll always respect Jeannie Carter. She was the manager and agent for several of the bands I was in. So, but she was very band centric. You know, the bands and her family were the bands and things of this nature, and when one of us went off, got married, it just kind of upset the vibe, if you will. And so her and I crossed swords a few times over the years, because I fell in love, and I got married, and I had a little girl. Yeah. And it didn't always fit with the narrative, I think, of what the road bands were like. And
You mean sex, drugs, and rock and roll, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Just a little.
You can't get married. You're supposed to be a drummer who bangs the chick. The fuck you getting married?
You bang the drum or bang the chick? I don't. Both.
You bang the drums, and then you get to bang.
Well,
Oh, no.
after I got married, it was just
Banging
drugs
one chick.
and alcohol, man, and banging the drums.
right.
Yeah. Damn, those things get cold at night, though. I tell you.
Cuddle up with some skins. It's a little different.
Yeah.
It brings a whole new dimension to the word head, I tell you.
You got good head? Not really, man. The thing just bounces right the fuck off. I just,
my lord, that's too good, dude.
No, but I love how that worked out, and I love how you
smack it
made
with
your
my wood, it
decision.
pops back up.
Yeah.
I love how the decision was made, and you did what you felt in your heart that you needed to do, and made the right decision.
And you went to the service, then, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Went to the
yes,
service.
you did.
Okay, yes.
And my 2 cousins and my brother Chuck, they took me to the airport, and we played it up really good, because this is 1978, and so I had my fro really happy.
Yeah.
And I had these shades on. I had my dad's double-breasted navy pea coat on.
Badass.
And I was dressed for the gig, so I had my platforms on and my bell-bottom pants, and I was looking bad. And they took me to the airport, and so they were playing it up. Well, my brother thought, oh, this is bullshit, stop this, you know. But my 2 cousins were playing it up like, yeah, Mr. Bancroft, the plane will be here soon to get you to, you know, all this stuff.
So you look like a superstar in there.
Oh yeah,
That was dope.
I
Yeah.
had them fetch me a beer and the whole thing.
Fuck yeah, I would have too, dude.
And then I flew into Kalispell, and I'm lucky that the band really supported me at the time.
Yeah.
That's
they
badass.
they knew they drove and of course my plane was late. So Randy, our guitar player, tried to set up my drums, failed, and and then I walk into the venue that we were playing, and Randy's trying to also play drums because I was really late, and it was a complete clusterfuck. It was just bad. And but
they were trying to get your back though.
They had my back, absolutely.
Yeah.
Randy Peterson, Dave Lowe, and Steve Hanna, and Dan Murphy. Those guys are. Randy passed in 12, but they'll always be my real heart in bands.
These are the Raven guys, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Raven.
Wow.
We're gonna eventually get to the second half of the book, and you ain't gonna know shit. You'll be like Aaron and I sitting here like.
No, it's so good. It's so cool.
It is so cool.
Yeah, Sam's been like eating that book up.
Gosh,
like
yeah.
as soon as she
I went
picked
to
it
the
up.
beach and read.
Yeah, and it was cool
If we weren't filming last weekend, she probably would have read the whole damn
yeah,
thing.
she probably would have, honestly.
Yes.
But it was weird too because it was like I was like, Sam, you got an Amazon package out there, and I was like going to say some shit because we broke right now.
I know. Oh, he was gonna
And
get
I was
on
like,
my
who the
butt.
fuck did she- I was like,
What are
picked
you
it up.
buying?
Yeah, I was looking at it. I was like, Samantha Hannah, what the fuck did she buy? I was like, look at this shit. And it was your book in there, man. And she came running down. She's like, oh, Billy sent me this. And I'm like, wow.
I was so excited.
I'm like,
So-
wow. Oh, Billy bought you something. Isn't that right?
Did the bill fall out? I sent it on the
yeah,
bill.
no. What do I owe you?
I'm a musician
At
and an
least I got-
actor.
at least
I
I-
don't have any fucking money either. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was
Amen,
that should
brother.
be an IOU.
Hey.
And,
Yeah.
At least I'm halfway through it, so I know it's totally worth paying
Yeah,
for. So.
badass. No, but she was so excited, and she
Oh,
started
that's
right
nice.
away.
Yeah,
I'm-
no, I
I'm
was
very
so,
flattered by
I was
that.
so
Thank
flat.
you.
I started reading it right away. I got
Well,
was that last Wednesday?
It was.
it wasn't
I think.
that long ago. but
No, it was last
well-
week. It was right before the weekend, I think.
Yeah, I
Was
thought it was
it
last
really?
Wednesday. 'Cause
It
I
might have
remember-
been.
I remember the package sitting on the couch, and I'm like,
Yeah, yep, that was it. So Sam, since Bill's here, what you've read in the book, what are your feelings? What are you getting out of this, and what's fun? What's our next stage of conversation
Oh,
right now,
gosh.
based off
Okay.
the book? Where are you at?
Well, I really wanted to tell Bill something about the book, my laugh out loud moment.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Okay, perfect. Let's do
Okay.
it. Let's do that. That's great.
So, and Aaron remembers because I literally laughed out loud.
I think I know what you're talking
literally,
about.
I was sitting there reading, total silence, and I just started cracking up.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, go. Yeah, tell it.
Okay,
tell it,
so
tell it.
the part that made me laugh so much was EJ in the robe showing up at band practice with his hair all fucked up.
E.J. Bell.
That made me laugh so hard. I was like, oh my god. Maroon robe.
Yep,
With his
maroon
hair,
robe.
with his
So
hair
what's-
everywhere.
What's
Not
the
much
sto-
underneath.
What's the story behind it? So we all can laugh like Sam right now. See, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know what's
Put a
up.
picture in my head and I just started dying.
The thing is, I don't know what's behind E.J.
Okay.
Phenomenal guitar player. But he's the kind of guy that would show up in public in a bathrobe
His hair all fucked up.
with his hair all fucked up. And again, in the 70s, there was a whole lot of hair to fuck up. And he just would wander around and he'd just come in with a empty tomato, like tomatoes.
Okay,
that
oh,
he
yeah.
cooks,
Yeah.
but it'd be empty and he'd have water in it.
Okay.
Drinking it from-
It's just-
From a fucking
Oh,
tomato can?
Oh, okay. All right. Very
That
interesting guy.
that didn't even make the book.
Oh my lord.
Because I like
should
said,
have
I
because it might have been another laugh out loud.
well, because there's a lot of shit I don't remember of it. We talked about that, but
Yeah.
there's just stuff like that. And nice enough guy, but he was just a little
Strange,
just
odd.
off
Okay.
over here a little bit. But you know, he played guitar and
He
he'd show up.
entertained you guys. I know he did that.
And he always showed rehearsal, like I said, whether he was dressed or not.
I love that so much. It's so funny.
Musicians are characters, man. You know,
They
they're
are.
such different type of personalities sometimes. In any bands that even I growing up, 70s and 80s and stuff, and you see these musicians, you think back on them, and then you see them like outside of their element, and they're still like the same motherfuckers. They're,
Yeah.
it's not an act. It's pretty much who they are.
A lot of them are that way. you
Yeah.
know. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I think one of the reasons I ended up running a lot of the bands because I'm kind of business guy. I'm a Virgo, and I like lists and I like things in order, and so
You and Chuck will get along great.
Yep.
the artist in
drummer
me
thing.
it was sometimes at odds with the
The organizer.
organizer, and it should be this way, and so sometimes it comes together as a band leader, and sometimes it screws it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So because you're dealing with some of these guys that just live in their head, they're artists, whether they're some of the actors or musicians or whatever. I feel I'm glad I do have that balance because I can be creative. I love to write scripts and play music, and I love to do all stuff. But I also very, okay, well, let's do A before B, and then C, then D, and that's what I think.
E and F are always up in the air. You can do one or the other first, but it doesn't matter. But as long as you do A, B, D, and D first, A, C, and D, then if you want to fuck up E and do F, that's fine. But give me A, B, C, and D.
Always.
I hear you.
So
Yeah.
so
It's a good balance because,
Just make sure you
and
keep
we've
giving her
talked
that
about
D.
we've talked about this before on the show about how you're different. When you're artistic, you're different in a lot of ways. So there is a balance to be had there, and it's hard to have sometimes, and not everyone has it.
Right.
Definitely, and I think that's where those people get kind of a little bit lost.
So
A little bit in their robe with their hair fucked up.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're eccentric or
It's
but
the
they're
perfect word.
unique
Yep.
and
Perfect
they're
word.
creative.
He's one of the
Sometimes,
musicians.
yeah.
I don't know where he is in. I mean, I've kept pretty good track of the players I've worked with. I consider them friends, but on a different level. But
Yeah.
EJ just kind of
Just his own guy, huh?
just kind of went off. I don't know where he is, what he's doing.
Interesting.
No.
I have no clue. The other guys I know, the ones that are still alive,
Yeah.
But, so I don't know.
Interesting.
I
It's
hope he's doing
interesting.
well. He's
Yes.
a
Yeah.
hell of a guitar player.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, you guys. Coach Rick here. Hello. Welcome back to another Coach's Corner. Are you giving your gift? If you've never heard me before, it's one of my earlier installments of Coach's Corner where I talk about your gift. If you have heard me, you know that I do like to keep asking that question. Why? Because I think it's important. I think it's a great foundational place to function from. And always a good place to begin. Always a good reminder, right? Give your gift. It's important because your gift is unique to you. You are unique. You are precious unto the universe as the one of a kind that you are. Try to remember that. Humbly, of course. And let's give that. Have a little quote here for you. When you are ready, it will happen. Remember, if it is meant to be, it will be. And when you are ready, it will happen. The universe has a funny way of blessing you, whether it be with people, or things, or moments, or places. It knows. And it gives you everything you need. But only when you are ready. Now, exhale. That is by R.M. Drake. I don't know who R.M. Drake is, but I really like that quote. So thank you, R.M. Drake, for that, which, of course, I found on social media. And something else did occur to me, which I think I mentioned on my last installment, basically along the lines of your worth. What are you worth? And how does this apply? How can we make this apply? Now, of course, for those of you who don't know, I am an actor. I am an acting coach. So, but I am also a life coach and a business coach. And I started, and I've been doing that kind of coaching longer than I've been coaching actors. I've been leading my class for 6.5 years now for acting. I've been coaching for over 25 years as a business and life coach. And kind of hard to believe as I hear myself saying that, because I don't believe that I'm old, even though I got all that gray in my beard. I'm 52. I just turned 52. I'm not old. You might think I'm old if you're young, but I promise you when you get here, you'll know what I'm talking about. So, lots of conversations going on, essentially along the lines of, as actors, you're gonna, but this could be as any young artist, any young person trying to get into the film industry, you're gonna work for projects for free, right? You're gonna have those, and some of those are gonna be great, and they're gonna be important, and you're gonna be helping friends out, and all that stuff is great. Where I start to get a little on my soapbox is when just the general given, as in geometry, right? You always got a given. That attitude is a given of, they're lucky to have this opportunity. You should just be happy because you get to be on set. Well, here's the deal. We pretty much are happy to be on set. I know I've always been happy to be on set, paid or not. And I've done a lot of that. But there comes a point where it's just taking advantage of, and you're not upping your game by trying to, take care of people. To be a director is a huge responsibility, the way I see it, which also means it's a huge opportunity, right? And to be a great one, in my eyes, is someone who's making sure that everyone is taken care of. They oversee all of it. That's the role that I take on as an on-set producer, as an acting coach. It's very much about the energy of the space, the set, that it is a fruitful environment for creativity to flourish, for actors to have an incredibly safe space where they can get vulnerable so they can give you the best possible performance, because that is so importantly crucial to the final product. Because here's the deal, guys, if you got crappy performances, your film's going to suck. I don't care how great of a director you are. I don't care. Yeah, we got the shot, but I've heard so many directors say that, and I see the final product, and I'm like, they didn't get shit. Okay, it's clean, and everybody remembered their lines and stuff, but the performance wasn't there, and they have no idea, no clue about how to get someone there. Well, I think these are also the same people that think, yeah, the actors should be lucky to be here, and that they don't have to connect with them. And I tell my actors, you need to know your worth. You need to stop having that attitude. And just like so many actors today with these new contracts, these SAG contracts that are calling it experimental media. Some of this is Netflix, which is the biggest crock of shit. There's nothing experimental about that. They're one of the largest producers out there right now. And the fact that they want to pay, $350 a day instead of the usual, SAG minimum, which was $1,000 a day. They'll keep you on set for, 12, 13 hours. $1,000 starts to be less than $100 an hour. It's not that huge, right? $350 to be there for a full day? No, thank you. Not okay. We're going backwards here, and the union has totally screwed the pooch on that one, as far as I'm concerned. We need to figure out. Now, I'm not saying you're an independent guy and you're going to come up with $1,000 a day for all your performance. No. It should be your goal, though. That should be one of your first tier goals, and then eventually move beyond that. I'd like to see us move beyond the union. But take care of your people. Take care of your people. I mentioned that last week also. But, on the actor side, on the starting out side, on the starting out performers, on whatever you are, they are lucky to have you. think about that. Try to remember that they are lucky to have you. Now, like our quote said, when you are ready, it will show up, right? When you are ready. What does that mean? Well, when you have done the work, maybe. How about that? Work your ass off. Earn the right. One of my favorite sayings. You need to earn the right to be there. You need to earn the right to be on set. How do you do that? You do the work. What's doing the work? What do you mean? Everybody keeps saying doing the work. Well, it depends on what you do, but I can tell you as an actor, it means you get up off your ass and you get your ass in class. You go at least once a week, maybe twice a week. Maybe you got 2 or 3 classes going on. You see this in the major markets all over the place. And this is what I try to tell my students. You're going up against New York, LA, Atlanta. You know, there are people that are completely committed and this is all they do for their life. They're constantly training and constantly working. You think you're going to maybe show up to class once a week and compete with that? Good luck. You have to work on it every day. Look at any professional athlete. They work out and practice every day. That's it. That's it. It's a very simple formula, guys. Very simple formula. You get to set and determine what your value is. So while I say know your worth, you know it because you've put in the work. And that knowing, again, is from a humble space. It's a standing inside of a comfortable confidence with humility and grace. Comfortable confidence with humility and grace. I like that one. What are you worth? Take care, guys. God bless.
Yeah, EJ, if you're out there,
Hell of a
I hope
dresser.
you're doing well.
Hell of a dresser.
And hey, that maroon robe's no joke.
I'm never gonna look at a tomato can the same.
I hope it was waterproof. I don't know.
You don't even know what
You
was
don't
in
even know.
the
That's what's so
I didn't
badass.
want to ask.
It was just straight.
I feel
vodka.
like you're talking
so
about my
cool.
dad right there. Is
That's
that my
cool.
dad, Aaron, or what?
It could
Is
be.
EJ my dad?
Yeah, it could be.
You just my dad. I
You're a
think.
mad fuck. He's cool.
He might be.
60s and 70s in music. So you going back. So let me. This is the age of like. Well, people are humping a lot, so why don't we just get into it, right?
Well, then
there's-
it's the 70s again.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's crazy. So here you are, this young kid getting into all this crazy shit, and you're making music, you're playing drums, and you're in a band. What's it like out there? What did you get into? Did you get into some stuff?
What or who?
What's
your
either
question?
or. Either or. I think that's a good one. I think
Wait.
that's a great
Either
question.
whore? Did you say
Either or, but I know you hear horror.
Can I put a little
Longview,
disclaimer?
Texas.
Yeah.
I need to
Oh,
add a
sorry.
disclaimer.
Oh, disclaimer, Sam. Go for it.
Disclaimer. So as I'm giving the synopsis to the guys of the book that you wrote,
Yeah.
fantastic book, by the way.
Yeah.
Sounds like
those
it
guys,
sounds like some of
they
a sexy
both
book.
they both commented on how they wanted to talk about the
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing.
That's
like,
fun
Yeah.
stuff.
So disclaimer: we're about to talk about girls.
We should talk about girls on the show.
Aaron directly asked him about having sex with all the people while he was on the road and how it was like being a young person doing so.
I
So
just
yes,
wasn't trying to
I'm
be so crude
assuming
and
we're
creepy.
talking about
Yeah,
girls.
that's not being
Yeah, we're
creepy.
talking about
I'm just curious.
If you
because-
take away crude and creepy, what the fuck am I doing on the show?
Because that's the question everybody loves. Everybody
need
loves
to.
it. And we all know it. We all know that those musicians back then, you know, they had the groupies. They had the
Musicians
stuff. It's
get
a
all
cool
the
spot.
girls.
Yeah, they
get
don't fuck
all
around.
The chicks.
They don't fuck around. Why do you think I was trying to learn drums?
Well, the drummers
Yeah.
are the coolest guys in the band.
That's what
I'm
We
saying.
all know this.
Yes,
Yes,
we do.
we do.
They're no joke.
We know
I
this.
love them.
Well, actually, no, I was actually a choir boy all the time. I read the
Oh,
Bible
get the
every
fuck
night.
out of
Oh,
here,
stop.
Bill. Mr. Bancroft,
Wait, I was.
please.
I'm an actor now too, so I'm trying.
Yeah, you're doing good, though.
Keep full of
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good. We got to talk about the acting, too.
He's
by the
doing
way.
a
Oh,
read.
yeah.
He's
Yeah,
doing a
okay.
read for us right now. Let's see if he can buy that. We
Yeah.
can buy this bullshit.
I know. Okay, I got to hear this stuff. Let's
Well,
tell us
okay,
about
I'll-
tell us about sex in the 70s.
We'll tell you how. I'll give you a little bit of background to this. I mentioned earlier that I was the youngest of 7, and I was always really small. I was just little Billy Bancroft at school. My mother was a school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out for all these sports teams all the time and I was always cut.
Okay.
And then I was the worst drummer. I always had this thing. And I think, obviously, you read the book. So the last day of senior year, I kind of rocked the gymnasium when we played this jazz thing. And all of a sudden people like pat me on the back and, whoa, you're so, we didn't know you could do this. And I remember thinking, okay, this is really fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm a
People
badass
are
right now.
really looking at me and talking to me and patting me on the back.
I love it.
And then, but that's still, you're not worthy. You don't belong thing carried with me.
The imposter syndrome thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then in the 70s, you say how band members chase girls a lot. It's
The
kind of
girls
the other way
kind of
around.
throw
Yeah.
themselves at you guys.
Chased
what
around a lot.
That's what I love.
And
Yeah.
so you're taking a kid that's 18,
Yeah.
I'm up in Calgary or Cranbrook or somewhere up there, and if you've got these girls,
Throwing
and you're going,
themselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh man.
what can
Bring
I?
it.
Sure, yeah. And then of course you still kind of new at all that stuff, so you're kind of bad at that too.
Sure. Yeah. I'm still bad at it, but continue
The
the
nice
story.
thing is, it sounds like you started in Canada. The girls are polite and clean. I mean,
Oh,
it
it's
was
beautiful.
a great place
This
to
is
start.
wonderful. This is wonderful.
Yeah,
I
it was
love
a-
this.
I mean,
it
not
was,
always.
There's nothing hotter. There's nothing hotter than girls chasing like a dude. I love it. I love it.
But see, that's something that I never had. I had one date in all my years of high school,
Okay.
and then all of a sudden I was cool and girls liked me,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
So I just kind of shut my eyes and went for the ride.
Went for it. No, and there's a lot of that dilemma in the book, and I told the guys about that too, about your moral dilemmas as time went on, and the older you got and the more you thought about, oh gosh, I feel like I feel bad for that or whatever. But
Well,
yeah,
let's not
so-
just skip over the sex stuff first
No,
before we get to the moral stuff.
Oh,
Sam
God.
blows right through all the fun to get to let's talk about the moral of the story.
No, it's fine. No,
Let's do a count. How many
Do you
redheads?
guys
How
want
many
me to
blondes? How many
leave so
brunettes?
you
Yeah,
guys
that's
can have
exactly-
guy chatter?
that's the check. That's
Did
the
you
question I wanted.
did you taste every color of the rainbow? That's what the fans want to know.
Yes.
Oh my lord, man.
I love it.
Is that?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So how's that? So here's a question like a square bear like me would ask. I'd be like, dude, how many women did you have sex with? Because I counted mine and I know.
Don't count
and,
yours.
And
You'll get
I can
sad.
do that really easy on
He's
two
a
hands.
square bear. He can-
Yeah, two hands, easy. Where were you, bro? You can give me a range.
Range.
I lost count.
Oh, motherfucker.
Literally,
Jesus.
like, I can tell you right now, you should have just asked me this
I
because I'm reading the
know.
book and I could have told you, like,
Well,
there's
he
no
doesn't
way he
remember
knows.
them all.
There's no way he
Man.
knows.
Ew.
Yeah, honestly, in complete frankness,
You really don't know.
I don't know.
Man.
Well, and
Don't-
back then, it wasn't like
I know.
now. I mean,
That's true, Sam.
what would you get? Crabs? I mean, no, it's not like AIDS. I mean,
Yes.
there wasn't
That's a good
AIDS,
point.
there wasn't AIDS and all this other stuff.
All the
So it was
weirdness.
a little bit safer
Yeah.
than
yeah,
now.
you wouldn't get the
You know,
T
you-
virus.
Sometimes it
You
would
didn't
burn.
have to worry
Sometimes it
about
would burn
dying.
when you pee
Right,
afterwards.
Sam.
Yeah.
Look, you didn't have to worry about dying from it, so
Correct.
it was different, right?
I got to know some of the free clinics around the West.
Okay,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
Sure. You
Get those
just-
checkups.
Yeah, you have to
make
go
sure.
in and the old swab,
Right.
and we did. But
Yeah.
I lucked out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just got through. Some of the guys didn't.
They did,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Man, just
So-
imagine that.
But like I said, I don't know. It was fun. I don't
Yeah.
know how else to put it. We just
I get
we
it.
were in the in our early 20s, and it was the 70s, and we were we thought we were way cooler than we really were, but it's like it was freedom. It was just this.
Yeah.
Just like there was nothing. We weren't being dicks out there, We
Sure.
just weren't being jerks. We just had fun.
Had a good
Yeah.
time.
And
Yeah.
at that time, it was harmless fun. We
Yeah.
played good music. We loved to rock and roll
Mhm.
or whatever band I was in at the time, and then lots of times, believe it or not, we actually did go back to the room and played cards and watched midnight movies or something. You know
Set
what I'm
off
saying? It's just-
fireworks or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
Oh God, yeah.
Watching Elvira.
I thought that was one of the stories you're going to bring up. That
Oh,
was the night
yeah,
I tried to
but yeah.
tackle the tree.
That sounds like something
I lost.
would fucking do.
Yeah,
I
you
lost.
lose
It's
that
like
one.
throw a shoulder in a tree.
Well, he was a very large man. That was the size of a tree.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
jeez.
I had Jack Daniels in me, so hell yeah, I was his size. And he started disrupting the party by shooting off a gun.
Okay.
And so I was, I stepped up and go, oh, I'll save the day. And I went to take care of this guy, and I bounced off him, and then he put the gun to my head, burned
Oh,
a little,
shit.
because he'd fired it,
and
it burned a little spot on between my eyes, and he said things like, something like, "You bad guy," or it was "You motherfucker." I'm not sure which it was, and don't ever do that, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's some of the times that I was.
But that stayed with you because it affected you.
Oh, it did. Big time.
Yeah, yeah.
Big time.
yeah.
It scared the
Which
the
it
next
would, yeah.
waking
Yeah.
up the next day going, I remember rubbing that little burn mark on my forehead.
Uh-huh.
What the
Oh,
fuck
gosh.
was I doing
Could've
that
happened,
for?
yeah.
I had a few of those moments on the road.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes you have friends that try and convince you to do things you're not comfortable with. When their names are Jack or Jim or those kinds of things, you
Oh,
need to
yeah,
not pay
Jack-
attention to those.
Jack
point.
Jim Jose.
So,
Yeah, I had a few. And I was that guy.
I've had a few like that too.
So I was actually talking about the bottle rockets. That's
Oh,
what I was
shit.
talking
Oh,
about.
jeez. When I shot
I wasn't
the
talking
police
about
car,
the yes. That's what I mean, that was what I was originally referring
Man.
to, but yeah.
Yeah, I should
All
have
the
been
crazy
arrested.
But you played
you
such a
weren't.
good gig, they let you go.
But I was a drummer, so they let me go.
Well,
Right,
they never
right,
found.
right,
I mean,
right.
he was fast.
And I was skinny, and I
And
fit
skinny,
behind
and
that
yep,
fan,
yep.
and they could not find me. Yeah, I was lucky that day. I shooting bottle rockets out of the hotel room, and one burned my hand, so I aimed down and hit a cop car as they drove by.
wow.
And to this day and age, they would have been after me with AR-15s or something.
They wouldn't have
geez,
fucked around,
yeah.
no.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Then
no.
they just
They would've
stopped
got you.
and searched, and I hid.
Yeah, especially with that afro, bro. You'd have been screwed.
And
That's
they-
the one
they
part that
never
was
found-
sticking out.
They never found any of it. Like
No,
they never.
wow.
Yeah, didn't catch
I love
any.
that part. They got away.
Oh, that's
I got
badass.
away with it. So
I have this
Fun.
sneaking sensation that if anything ever happens with Mr. Carlson's life, I'm going to be getting a call in about 10 to 15 years of being like, Aaron can't remember Dick. Can you fill me in on some of the shit that he's done in his life? Because
Yeah.
I do that all the time. We sit here on the show even, and
Yeah.
I bring up an old thing that we did, and he
Yeah.
was just like, until you just said something, I never would have remembered.
Yeah, I only remember certain things. That's why it's a great question Sam asked you earlier about how do you remember all this? Because I really don't. I remember trying
You
to jump
remember
over.
all Chuck stuff.
Not all of it. No,
No, I mean, there's
no.
things I
He'll-
talk about. He was like, oh
that
my
I was
God,
there
I
with
was
him.
fucking there.
Yeah, I don't remember. And then, like, I remember trying to jump over the car when the girl was trying to run me over.
She wasn't trying to run you over. Didn't you try? Didn't you tell her to drive it? You so you could jump over the car.
No, she tried to run me over. I was talking shit in the car to
He
her.
remembers everything that
Aaron,
made him
she-
feel like a badass.
Sam.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I almost cleared
Aaron
it
was
like
talking shit to a
like a
girl.
ninja.
She wanted to run him over. I give
Yeah.
you props
I
for
wish
not
she
doing
would
that
have.
yet.
No, well, it's because I did jump. I almost made the fucking. If she didn't stop the car, I wouldn't have hit the top of it. If she would have kept driving, I would have made it. I would have cleared the fucking car. I would have pulled the ninja.
So now y'all know
would've been
how,
dope.
Just like us drummers,
yeah.
Aaron thinks
Yeah.
he's cooler than he really is.
No, I would have done it. I would have made it. No, Billy, I know. It's that self confidence. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That edge. You gotta
Yeah.
have that edge.
I used to.
Well, okay.
I haven't been in a band in 4 years, and so it's I don't feel as cool as I.
You know what's weird though, dude? When you walked in today on the studio, you are like a stud, like
Yeah.
still, right?
So, like, literally.
Like, look
I'm-
at this dude.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, is he
No,
really
I-
as cool as we think he is?
I
Or
think
No,
so.
he's
Is it just
yeah,
because of all the
he
shit
is.
Sam
No.
said right before we got here?
No,
Let's
I
stay
mean,
with cool.
no,
Let's
he's
stay
still
with
cool
Okay,
as
okay.
fuck, right?
We'll
I
go
mean,
Like, he
look at the
talks
shape
cool,
this
he
guy is
looks
in.
cool.
Look at the shape he's in.
Right.
It's fucking ridiculous. So imagine him
Round
back
is
then.
a shape.
Dude, that's not.
No,
That's not.
it's
No,
not.
no,
No, you're-
no.
That's a Rainier beer belly. Right
That's
there.
okay, but you look good.
I'm glad you're keeping it
Yeah,
local.
you look
Way to
smooth.
support the locals.
Absolutely. It's
Cool
pronounced-
motherfucker.
It's
You look
pronounced
great.
Renier.
Yeah.
Renier beer.
So I imagine him back then with all these women chasing him. Dude, he was just a fucking pimp.
Back then,
Wow.
I was this tall, but
Okay.
I was also only 128 pounds too. So I.
Yeah, but you.
He was
Wait,
He was
when you were
Dylan.
doing drums
He
and
was
doing all
Dylan.
that
He
stuff,
was
Yeah.
you were this tall.
Oh yeah, I was 6. I grew to 6 foot right after like my first year of baking school, and I just like got tall, but I didn't put on any weight
Wait, okay.
at all.
Mhm.
And for years and years, I've always been the
Tall, skinny guy.
The skinny.
tall, skinny guy.
Okay.
That's
all right.
okay. Just for reference here, everybody, that's the size I was when I was in the 7th grade.
I know, you were a
Seventh
big
grade.
motherfucker.
Yeah, you're big.
You were tall.
Well,
I mean, you were thin.
I was
but you were tall.
5'8" and 128.
Yeah,
when I
you
was
were-
in the 8th grade. I wrestled at 135,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden I hit high school, and I'm like, oh shit, Chuck's 170 fucking pounds and 6'3". I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what happened.
I think he looks as good as he does because he has all that sex back there. All those
Oh, is
different
that
women.
what it is?
I think it is.
The
He
more-
was
the
not
more
stressed
sex,
out.
the better you look?
It's too much fun. It's just too much fun.
Sorry, ladies.
Too many. You get too many feel good moments. You know, some guys are out there trying. You get it maybe once or twice a month, and you're like, and you're happy. I'm not talking about me, motherfucker. I'm not saying.
I was like, don't insult
No,
me.
but I'm talking about some guys, where they're just like, it's just
I
like,
want
man,
credit where credit is due.
because you feel better and you feel happier, you feel more motivated. It's a weird thing for a guy. It's weird.
Well, look, there's another element to this too, and that is the drug scene back then, and drugs were not as dangerous as they are now, and they were not as destructive as they are now. Now you get drugs, you got meth, and you got fentanyl, and you got these things that are they hurt people and kill people, and you look at people and they're 30 years old and they look 80.
They look dead.
It's so
yeah.
sad.
And he's talking
like
about
you,
his
when
friends
you're-
and stuff
Mhm.
that passed away
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
from
It
cancer
happens,
and old
yeah.
age and all these things. They didn't OD.
Didn't OD
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah.
So it's a different kind of
Well,
world.
I'm sorry,
I mean,
yes.
cocaine took at least 3 of my friends.
That's it.
Okay.
You did
Oh,
roll
wow.
into the 80s
And I
pretty
did.
hard.
I mean, you haven't reached that point in the book yet,
Okay.
but I fully owned the fact that when I finally did make the big time, so to speak, when I ended up in Nashville, I started playing drums with a lot of the famous country stars of the day.
Yeah.
Most of them are dead now, but I did enjoy cocaine immensely.
Okay. So this is literally sex, drugs, rock and roll. You
Yeah,
didn't fuck
and-
around.
Yeah.
Because I was happily married, and so I wasn't going to cheat on my wife. But one of the things that kept me from ever straying and being faithful to my wife were the drugs.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Kept
Because you
you
could still be
distracted.
cool and be a part of the
Oh yeah,
clique.
you were still there. You were still
Yes.
partying, and
Yes.
it became kind of a thing with me.
I get it.
You know, some of the other gentlemen of the band, married or not, were having other kinds of fun, and
Mhm.
I was kind of the guy. No, I'll
Yeah.
just chop up this line here,
Right.
and do this, and just kind of stay above it all, kind of
Mhm.
that kind of. I think I
I'm
even
not
I
going
got
to demean myself to do that to my wife. I'm just going to snort this fucking out.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, right. No, I get it.
essentially, yeah, that was my thing, and then it grabbed me.
Gotcha.
It grabbed me
Oh, okay.
hard.
I was
Okay.
wondering about that, and
grabbed me
I
hard.
Well,
yeah,
that
like
goes
you
to the-
said, I haven't gotten there in the book yet.
1986
Yeah,
was
I'm
the
sure.
last time ever.
Okay.
Well, that's the morality thing Sam's talking about. I think
Yeah.
on the other stuff we were discussing, like, yeah, Sam, like what happened in the book? Like,
well,
what
there's a
moral thing
point.
are you talking
So
about?
I'm talking about, the younger he is in his book, and he talks about the women, and they throw themselves at him all the time. And, it's nothing really to think about being a band guy on the road, and you're sleeping with these different girls, and it's nothing really at the time.
Mhm.
And then it becomes, as the older he's getting, and it becomes a moral thing, and he's thinking about, oh, that's not nice, or
Right.
things are coming up.
He's
and
maturing.
You're maturing, and you're feeling
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
for this
Yeah.
behavior, or I'm seeing this girl, so now that's kind of not right, and
Mhm.
these moral questions are coming up, and he's having to deal with these kinds of dilemmas
Yeah.
with that sort of a thing, because the women are always going to throw themselves, at him,
Oh,
but
they
the
were.
moral things are
Mhm.
happening. Yeah, so that
And-
was interesting. to
And
me.
then when I'm not a religious guy any way, shape, or form, really, but I did take my marriage vows
Seriously.
Yeah,
very seriously.
Mhm.
And why the fuck get married if you're not going to stay and
Right.
be married?
yes.
Right.
That's my philosophy.
Right. Yeah.
That might not work for everybody, but it's mine.
Yeah.
And I dealt with my time on the road. I still partied, like I said, partied my brains out, traveled around on the buses, had a great time, good shows, missed my wife and my children immensely.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always, because I knew I'd never be able to look at my wife in the eyes if I had ever cheated.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the right to look at her in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to throw that away. Bullshit. And
Yeah.
like
Well, and how-
said, then
how-
I went and go snort a half gram of coke and talk to anybody.
I
that
said
would
a
listen to me.
pound. I made it American
Right.
and went over the top. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
It's like,
But-
oh, let's talk about me, and then let's talk about what you think of me.
Right.
That kind of shit.
But I love when you got serious about a girl finally, as the part that I'm getting,
Yeah.
that I'm at, and I've been at for a little bit. This woman and her child that you met, and so I have a lot of respect for Becky because of the whole Marcy thing, and you came and you told her about, and she was like, duh, or whatever she said, like she already knew. But bless her heart.
Yeah.
But that made you feel bad. I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
If we can stop talking in code and give a little bit of the
Yeah,
I know.
what happened?
I know.
What
I'm
happened?
so sorry.
That's okay. No, what
I
happened?
was
like,
not
yeah,
going to do that because I don't want to do spoilers. I want everyone to read this book because it's great.
Well, no matter what, she's only halfway through the book. Even if we give away a few more spoilers, it's only half.
It's only halfway
It's
through.
incentive. It's just a trailer
Yeah.
to the book. We're just
I
it's
know,
just a trailer,
but-
just a little trailer.
It's a little teaser, just a little,
little
little
tease.
little tickle.
Yeah. So what's that story about?
I
I mean,
want
that's interesting to me. Like,
Yeah,
was
so tell us
this
about
Becky
that.
like a life-changing person to you or something, or what?
Oh, absolutely, she was.
Okay. Okay.
The first time I met her, I'll try to. Okay, I moved to Utah. I left Raven and joined a country rock band down in Ogden, Utah. A friend of mine, Jimmy McElwain. He goes by James now, but it's Jimmy McElwain at the time, and he invited me down to join the band, and I wanted to play country rock because I loved Allman Brothers and Outlaws, and Marshall Tucker Band, and those, and so I wanted to try that.
Okay.
Anyway, so went down to Ogden. They put me up in the basement of the Public Affair Cafe in downtown Ogden, which was a shithole downstairs. Upstairs was less of a shithole.
Okay.
I mean, it was actually a nice little cafe, but don't look in the kitchen. But anyway, so
I've worked in a few of
they
those.
put me up in the basement, and then the rest of the band members left, and I'm down in this old club. I'm sleeping in a booth with my jacket over me. And finally, I wake up, I jump out of the booth because I have cockroaches crawling all over.
Oh shit.
And I'm shaking them off.
They
and
tickle. It does. They tickle.
Okay.
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 Right. Yes. That's creepy, Chuck. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, tickle. That's the word I was thinking. And so but it must have been in the morning because I hear this sound upstairs. And so anyway, I go up the stairs and it's the vacuum cleaner. And I come up out of the basement door, and I look down the cafe, the restaurant, and there was this, from behind, she was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. And she left the vacuum cleaner running and walked away and did something. She did that for the next 30 years, too. She would never shut that damn vacuum cleaner off. I don't understand it. No, that's no shit.
And that's what they say. The thing that attracts you to the first thing they do is the thing that annoys you later.
She did have a child. Children
I-
sleep well with the vacuum running.
Okay.
So you know.
Okay. I know that now.
She did, 30 fucking years. Thanks for finally breaking the silence.
I
on
was always
that.
shutting it off and getting her pissed off at me. I don't know. So, but anyway, so I come up the stairs and I shut the vacuum cleaner off, and she spins around and sees this. Okay, again, 130 pounds. My hair was down to here. I had this old cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
She didn't know there was a guy in the
cool as fuck,
basement.
though. Yeah, but you were
So-
still cool.
And
She
you came
grabs-
out of the basement too.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
grabs a steak knife and points it at me, and she goes, "Who the fuck are you?" Those are the first words that my lovely wife ever said to me.
Okay.
Who the fuck are you? We had it inscribed on her. No, we didn't.
You should. I mean, it might have been.
Should have been on her invitations to the wedding.
That's the best.
But anyway, and so I just, and then over time, and then when I discovered she had that little girl, Erin,
Okay.
and she was not quite 3 yet when I met her, and then first time I saw her, I just like, oh my God, this vision of beauty and this beautiful little girl, and my life really did change. It, my whole mindset had changed. It grew. I don't know, grew up a little bit. It's
Shit
just,
hit you.
I just realized I always knew I'd end up married. I watched my mom and dad happily married for their whole life. And I had a great example, role models to follow. And I just knew in my heart that I would
That was
fall
your
in love.
Yeah.
destiny. basically.
Yeah. And I can honestly say I've only been in love twice. One with Becky, and then one was with my
Sue.
wife Sue now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've been married for 6 years now. So
Beautiful.
and so yeah, that's only happened twice. And boy, I just I struck gold both times.
Yeah.
And I'm such a blessed and lucky person. That
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, you're a lucky motherfucker.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
am.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell is seeing. But I have been very lucky. So that's what, when I saw Becky that time, it was like, okay, this is, and then, it took a while for her to start liking me.
Sure.
I tried to tip her like 50 cents. You know, it was a lot of money
That was
back
a lot
in
of money.
back then.
I'm a high roller.
Okay.
Look at these
Yeah,
shiny
I was.
quarters,
Upwards
baby.
of a
It reminds me
Yeah.
of you, Aaron, when you tipped me $10 at the.
You know what I
for
mean?
like
Yeah, that's
one-
what you do. Yeah.
Like 1 or 2 rums. I was like, hey.
Yeah, not fucking around.
Big
Yeah.
tipper.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you say, I'll take you out and throw a burger down your throat later. How about that? You know, be badass.
He
No,
didn't
that's
say
not
that, or
really
I
anymore.
would
Yeah.
have not be here.
So,
I'm sorry.
No, but I love the turning point when you meet Becky and the whole transformation that you kind of do over time with Becky.
Yeah.
And I love that part of the book. It's a great part because it really shows how it determines kind of, or let me just rephrase that. It showed your soul and your heart where it really was.
Mm-hmm.
And how
Absolutely.
much, you love the music, but where you really wanted to be.
yeah. My dream at that, was like, I want to be happily married. I want to raise children, and I want to play drums.
Yep,
Play drums,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
And
Easy peasy.
I did that for a long time. And so
Yeah.
people say, well, what would you? I see that on Facebook sometimes. What would you be if you could have been what your childhood dreams?
I do too.
And it's
Yeah.
like,
I did.
I did.
Lived out
You
my
did.
childhood.
I
dreams.
did.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's so cool.
like-
And but Becky
mm.
and people, your dad and Becky being those pivotal people in your life to keep you being able to live your dream. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful story. So
Yeah,
I
thank you.
I love those things.
Well, I mean,
Because
Wow.
Becky, if not for Becky, I feel like that was such a that opened your heart.
Mhm.
Where your heart might have not been quite as open before that. And so and I love that part of the
Yeah.
book and how
And
that
now it exists on my sleeve, and
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
always there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I think that's one of the reasons that I was so fortunate that after Beck passed away and I spent several years in a really, really dark place.
Sure.
And then Sue, I always consider her kind of an angel that just kind of came from nowhere, because there's no way I could fall in love again. There's no way I can.
Where did you meet Sue? Where did you meet
Actually, I met her in 3rd grade.
No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
met her in third
Okay.
grade, and then saw her.
You were 52 and she was in 3rd grade.
No way. Chuck. Oh my god.
That's why I don't give out my location very often.
That's why he didn't bring her to the show.
Yeah, she's safe in the room.
That's the first time
Shut
Sam's
up.
ever looked at me during your show like, how the fuck did you say that?
She's probably tied up in the car.
Well,
right
I
now,
saw the
right?
picture, so I know this. I
Yeah,
know.
No,
That's
Sue and I
hilarious.
knew
And Sue's
each
very
other
beautiful.
all through school.
All through school,
Okay.
yes.
And then we
Okay.
saw each other again when Becky and I had a farm in Green Acres when I was farming vegetables. Had a farmer's market. We saw each other
Jesus.
then.
Okay, that's cool shit. Sorry, I was just like, man, you had a market and everything. Damn.
Oh yeah, I love.
Is
the
there
farm.
anything you haven't done?
I haven't been Pope yet.
Okay, that's true. All right.
Okay.
Well, how was the
Well,
trip
you're
to
not
the
very
moon?
religious, so that's going to be a hard one to get.
No, I think it's going to make
Might,
it
yeah.
actually pretty easy.
Oh, at this point, probably.
That's the edge I'm talking about. That's that shit right
Okay,
there. That's it.
Anyway, so after I became alive again,
Yes.
like I
Yeah.
said, several years dark.
Yeah.
Really dark. And I decided to open my Facebook page again because I shut it down after Becky passed.
Okay.
And then I'm scrolling through and I see a friend that I went to high school with. Oh, I think I might ask her out for coffee. And then I saw on her friends list, I saw Sue. I go, oh, I think I'll ask her out for coffee. Because she was
I love
so
that.
beautiful.
All right.
And
she is, too.
so we connected and we met for 5.5 hours
Wow.
at a coffee shop.
Wow.
And when Sue hears this, yes, honey, I only bought you 1 cup of coffee. I'm a cheap bastard. I for 5.5 hours, I only bought her 1 cup of coffee. Didn't feed her or
Wow.
anything. But we started talking, and we discovered,
How much you had.
how much we had in common,
Yeah.
and it's just, I was not going to get married again. I was not going to love again.
Right,
Because
right.
I had my 33 years of happiness.
Yeah.
And I didn't deserve another one. That was my mind.
Yeah. Most
Yeah.
most men can't ever find
But
that
let
in
me
the
just
first place.
inform the listeners.
Yeah.
I've seen the picture. She's absolutely beautiful and gorgeous to no end. So
And
I
he
can
di-
see
and he
why you
didn't-
changed your
He
mind.
didn't bring her to the studio to share with us, so
no,
obviously he's
but
No, I've heard about you.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
But yeah. Can we keep you that?
The story carries on.
I've been watching this shit before I came over here. I
that's
know.
funny.
You know what's up. Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, he walks in like, where do I sit? I know I sit next to the door so I can get the fuck away. Where do I sit again? I'm sorry. Where do I sit? Right here next to the door? Okay, yes, good, thank you.
You can bring anybody you want. We have chairs. I'm not bringing my wife.
Right. Don't stay married for that long without being a little bit smart.
You know,
I love it so much.
it's good stuff, man.
Just
But
like
she-
it's
yeah.
amazing
touch
stuff.
everybody in the room with my long ass arms doesn't mean I will.
That's true. You do have
I
self-control.
usually ask
You do good.
first,
You do
right after, or apologize.
Sometime
One or the other.
during.
good. Man.
Oh no, but yeah, she is gorgeous. She is
Thank
beautiful.
you. I will
So
pass that along to her. She will
yeah,
be.
she
She's so
absolutely.
shy. She's truly
Oh,
shy.
is she
was-
really?
Yeah, she used to be a model back in
I
back in
believe
the
that,
70s.
absolutely
Wow.
believe that. She
she's
should be a model
so
now.
Shy. I've tried to use her in a couple. She helps me run my lines when I'm gonna practicing for a part or
Oh,
audition.
yeah.
She does really great. But boy, you ask her to maybe take a part in a
Mhm.
movie or out. Oh God, she's
Aw.
so shy, but she's really good. She's
Do-
really good at that.
Do you still talk to Aaron?
My daughter?
Yeah.
Erin,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. all the
Okay.
time.
Okay. I
Oh,
was just
yeah.
curious. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm again, God, so blessed. I'm still very close with my daughter Erin.
Good.
I have my son Corey, and then my youngest son Casey.
All right.
Yeah.
And I have 7 grandkids.
Awesome.
they're
Those
And
are
he's the
best.
coolest fucking grandpa. Can you imagine
I
having Bill as
know
a grandpa?
what. I
Oh,
love
so,
that.
Dude, can you be my grandpa, bro?
No, he's not
Seriously.
old enough.
God damn it.
well, yeah.
You could have had me back then. Shit,
No.
you could be my dad.
I was gonna say,
Oh.
there's a good. So
there was
you
this
like
one
the
girl.
Northwest, huh?
Shit, who knows, man?
I'm sorry. I got to tell one grandpa story. if
Yes,
I
please
may.
do.
Please do, brother.
my-
Please
No,
do.
keep it only cool to when you were young and having sex all the time with weird people.
Oh God.
No, we would
I
have
set
a-
up Chuck. Shut up.
No,
Chuck.
my granddaughter Willow. Corey's oldest daughter. She was downstairs in my office, and she's sitting behind my drums, my little red sparkle that
That you still have?
I still practice on.
Okay.
She's sitting behind the drums, and she loves to tell jokes. She tells a joke, and then she goes,
No.
She's
I
dope.
love her.
and I never showed her that.
Wow.
I was like, are you fucking kidding? My granddaughter just told a really stupid dad joke kind
Right,
of thing.
right.
And they went,
And she knew it was
love her.
funny.
and then she gives that big smile. It's like, oh God,
Aw.
Grandpa's, my heart just like,
Yes.
so,
I bet it did.
That's
I mean, I could
badass.
tell Grandpa stories all night, but like you said, they're not quite as cool. So.
No, that was a good
we're-
one though. That was a very
Yeah.
cool grandpa
As
story.
young as we may all seem, we are all grandparents here.
Mm-hmm. We are.
Congratulations.
We are. Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
Good for
All
you.
of us are.
Good for you. They're the best thing ever.
They
Oh,
absolutely
God, you're
are.
not
You get
lying.
to send yours away though at the end of the day, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I wish I could do that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, but they all live close. They all live close by.
That's good.
That's
I'm
good.
very lucky.
Close
that
is good. In the same
Beautiful,
house.
buddy.
Yay! Yay!
way. Same
Go
house. No, same house. Yeah. Fuck that. I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, that's what
No,
Chuck deals with.
Sorry, Chuck.
Tired.
Sorry, Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Yeah.
That's what he deals
they,
with.
They wear me out. It's
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
can
They got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I absolutely love my grandchildren. I just want to push them away sometimes.
I
I
know.
get
Well,
it.
everyone loves their grandchildren, but you got to give them back to mom and dad.
That's the whole goddamn point.
We raised ours.
Yep.
Hey, my mom was giving me
Yep.
back my kids. Going here, I sugared her up. You take her.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We sugar
Yeah.
them up, send them home.
That's
When it's-
exactly what I
Meanwhile,
do.
and I'm sitting there at dinner time being like, what the fuck are you giving them a top tart for? They go to
Yeah,
bed in
but
20 minutes. What the
They
fuck are you
live
doing?
with you. That's
Yep.
why.
That's exactly why.
Yeah. What do
Yeah.
I buy for my grandson, Aaron?
What do you?
Otter
Popsicles.
Pops?
Popsicles for
He's-
days.
I
Yeah.
made him a popsicle monster. He otter
Yes.
pops, and he's 10 months old.
Yeah, he doesn't fuck
So,
around. He
he
sees
does
a
not
fucking
play.
otter pop. He's like,
He comes running. No, crawling real fast.
he's doing that shit. He doesn't play.
I have to admit, though, in my house, it's a fair trade. It's really simple. It's like, do the kids right in the evening so they go to bed at a decent time, because the last thing you want is me waking up at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning and having you start your day with screaming children.
Yeah. Well, awkward
done
moment
that.
is no, I don't
Yeah.
want to live in your house. I don't want to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning or deal with kids at 9.
You don't have, that's what I'm saying. Just make sure you take care of the kids in the evening the right way, so that way I
Oh.
don't wake them up when I'm.
When he's
I
going,
accidentally
yeah.
dropped something in the bathroom right next to their bedroom. Oh, darn.
Do
That
we
would be
miss that,
hard.
Aaron?
Bye, guys. I'm
Aaron,
gonna-
do we miss that?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Nope. And plus, we didn't make the kid. We just get to enjoy the kid. The after effects.
Oh, the
that's the
grandkid,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's what's cool about grandkids, right? You know, when you actually make a kid,
it's your responsibility.
Yeah, and then when shit's horrible with the kid, you have to still deal with it, and you can't blame it on anybody else because you're the one that fucking did it. But with grandkids, it's better. Yes, it's better. So when Jay starts acting up or something, I'm like, I ain't got to do it. Dude.
Right, what's your kid doing? He's getting into shit.
Yeah, go get your kid. You're the one that had.
I don't know what's wrong.
Did what you did.
Mom, you gave him a popsicle. Yeah, but the popsicle didn't do that. I don't know what he's doing right now.
It's your fault. You shouldn't have went and got the dick. You know, that's how I feel. Inside, that's how I feel.
I mean, I don't know if you say that.
No, I don't. I don't. But she did
sounds like
that.
something
That's
you would
what
say
she
to his daughter.
It's in my brain.
It's
in my brain. It's in my brain. If she doesn't do it, I'll be like, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, you know what I mean. Okay, so let's get back to Bill first.
No, let's tell something. This kind of weirded me out when I first met Aaron because he admitted to this.
Oh no.
He admitted to this. This is kind of funny.
Oh fuck, what is it? I love this stuff because I don't remember, right?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
So he'd see a pregnant girl, and this is what he would think: somebody fucked her.
I did.
And I was like,
it went through my head.
why do you think that?
Here's what's funny. When
thought?
I was younger.
Is that guy's first thoughts when they see a
Yeah.
pregnant girl?
No, you look at a pregnant girl and it's not the. Sorry, I just totally put my hand across this camera. But I looked at her and I was like, "There's a girl who puts out."
Yes,
Okay.
it went through my
It's
head.
not like she
So
has
it is a
sex,
guy
but for
thing.
me, it's like,
I don't know.
She puts out.
Yeah, it's
Well,
just
She's not too far along. She can be fun.
yeah.
Okay, well that's weird.
I don't think
So
that.
guys, hey, guess what, guys?
I just
Guys,
think it's
all
cool when
guys
you know a
around the
girl.
world, keep that to yourself.
Well, I tried to.
Just
I
talk
didn't say
about it in
that.
guy time.
You brought it up. What do you mean keep it to
Because he
myself?
shared it with me, and I'm
Oh,
a
I
girl,
did.
so I was like, "What the literal F?"
We walk through the grocery store, see her like, well, you know what she did.
He's
Yeah,
But
it pops up because it's
That was
fucking.
like-
you guys
It's cool.
first got together.
Probably the whole time
Pretty
we've been
much,
together. Yeah. Anytime
Yeah,
I see a
pretty
pregnant
much.
woman, I think that.
yeah, and
I
here
do.
I still am.
But it's kinda
so,
cool.
Yeah.
I apologize, Bill. We'll get back to you in a second.
Yeah, no.
You're the same girl who walked into his bedroom the second night
And
or
saw the
whatever it is,
camera.
And saw the camera. Like,
And I'm
sure,
also
I'll jump
still
in
here.
bed. Why not?
Yeah, it's not as if I drove across the state to be here.
He did.
No,
I think we should just change my name to Psycho Sam. Because
I just realized that my name's backwards, but not everybody can see
Is
it.
it
So
Chuck
nobody-
Creepy?
It says
Oh, Chuck Creepy.
I'm
I like that.
You're
I fucked
a little
that all
off
up.
today.
Oh my goodness.
No, you're good.
So yeah, he really used to do that though. He
I
used to
did.
tell me about that, and you should.
And I still think it to this day when I see him.
Okay, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I love it.
You don't
It's-
need to
there's
share
nothing
that.
wrong with it.
A
It's
girl
beautiful.
walks by who's pregnant.
It's
and you're like,
beautiful.
She's had a dick in her.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I think that.
Well, what
Because
if-
that's what happened.
But what if she just has a little tummy and she doesn't have that?
I don't know. I mean, it's an obvious one.
Is
It's
that
like,
a problem of a guy who didn't get enough?
maybe?
Maybe
Or-
if he's still
or-
using two hands, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Have you
Do you
ever
use
thought
two
that
hands
when
or
you
just one?
No, it's two.
Guys.
It's two hands. I'm in two hands. Dude.
Bill,
Give me
have you
a
ever
break, dude.
thought
I'm
that
almost
when you
50. Come on.
see a
Get to
pregnant
you.
woman? Shut up.
Sorry.
When you see a pregnant woman, have you ever thought that?
Thought-
Like, is that your first thought? Like, oh, she's had a dick in her.
I,
Like, is that your first thought? Like these
No,
weirdos?
that's probably my 14th or 15th.
Okay, well, see.
I'm thinking honestly, my first thought was, oh, cool. Good for you.
oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
See?
Because I love kids.
Yes.
Yeah. I do too.
Yeah, these guys love kids too, but
Yeah.
they're still weird first.
Well, I don't
like-
know if I'd trust them around my kids. But that's a whole different thing.
They used
I
to
just
pay.
think it.
right?
They used to pay me to
No,
watch
I just like
children.
I like the fact to think that other people are out there having sex. I think it's cool. I like that. That makes me
Okay.
happy. So when I see a woman who's obviously pregnant, you know, a really pretty lady, but she's got a baby belly, I'm like, wow, okay, she's hot and she's pregnant, so that means some dude did her.
Somebody did.
And I love it. I love it.
And she did the dude.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did the dude. I love it. Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah,
As long as you don't walk up and look at her and be like, "What position worked for you?"
I wouldn't
I
say
mean,
that.
you know,
I'm
that's-
not
that would
weird
make it
like
weird.
you, Chuck.
Oh,
I
you're not
wouldn't do
supposed to?
that. No, it's just an observation, and I
And
move
I'm
on
just
with
a
my
girl,
day.
so I'm like, oh, there's a baby in there.
Yeah, see, you think baby, and I think how the baby got there. That's the only
No.
difference. It's just a
Okay.
different train of thinking.
Okay.
It's
well,
fine.
Guys
Did
and
you
girls,
use the pillow technique, or did you go with the whole dog aspect? I mean, which one
Anyway,
did you
let's
go
just
for?
move along.
Let's
from
get back to
that.
Bill, shall we? His story's way more interesting than my morbid thoughts.
It's way
Yeah.
better.
I
Okay.
hope so.
I even like his
Yes.
take on pregnant women better. You guys can just.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Sorry
Oh,
for.
you're
Yeah, this is why we're not cool like Bill.
I'm
sorry.
just creeping it real.
keeping it real.
Edit.
Okay.
Edit button. Edit button.
So you mentioned earlier, buddy, that you had musical success. So we can transition into your acting stuff.
Sure.
I just don't want to skip over all your music stuff you've done. You know, you've done so much, but I don't know any of it. Like, how did you were able to live off of your musical talents
Oh yeah.
Play the music, do the things you wanted to do.
He did bake now and then.
Yeah, do the baking now and then. That was his backup plan.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. In between tours and things like that, because I was a touring musician.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a little studio.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't got to that part yet.
I got
think.
to a little bit of it.
Okay.
But I did a little studio, but mostly I was a touring player.
Okay.
So, we need a drummer for 6 weeks for this tour. They send you the cassette tapes, and you learn the tunes. And you show up at such and such, or you fly into wherever, and you join the band for a couple of days of rehearsals. Then you're on the bus.
Wow.
And you go play the show for the tour, and then you're done.
Holy shit, dude.
So it's just.
So you're just like a drummer for hire.
I was. I mean,
Okay.
after Hotspurs, and then we were. There was a guy named Freddy Fender. We were his band for a couple of years. Dottie West and Chris Ledoux and Eddie Rabbit.
And I recognize all of these
and
names.
I
so
drummed
they're
with all,
the-
I drummed with all those guys.
Wow.
And Bo Diddley.
Wow.
Wow. Dude.
So, but those tours, you don't perpetually tour, and being in a band doing that, then you're back in the bar scene, and the money isn't all that good. And so lots of times I forego that, just go home and bake, and that
Smart.
kind of thing, and
Yeah.
be with the family until
Smart
another
as
tour
fuck.
came along.
Okay.
And then after a while that got old too, and that's when in 1990 I pretty much exited the road, so to speak. It's like, no, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm tired, and
Yeah.
I'm an old man of 40, that kind of thing.
Fuck,
But
I made
at
it
the
to
time.
40.
But living
Yeah,
that
no
kind
shit,
of a
I'm
life.
lucky to make it to 40. So it's
Yeah.
so I and that's when I started. I was baking. We had 7 acres. And we farmed vegetables, and then I fell into the corporate world, which is a whole nother story.
Mhm.
I ended up ended up doing things that I never knew I could do.
Yeah.
And maybe I was just too ignorant to know I didn't know how.
I understand that.
But I just went ahead and did it, and I became, in the corporate world, director. I was vice president at Sterling Bank as their facilities guy.
Sterling?
Sterling
I
Bank.
worked at Umpqua for 5 years.
Okay,
I
and then
did.
I left Sterling, and then Umpqua took over
Yes.
Sterling.
Yep.
But I was their vice president of facilities and real estate
Wow.
construction and stuff like that.
Royalty too. Wow. See?
So
The edge.
it's-
People with edges do all kinds of cool shit,
Well,
right?
it was there, and it needed to be done, and I happened to say, yeah, okay, I'll do it. That kind of stuff, and that's.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to go to China and Poland for a different company, and Mexico City and England, and I got to do all this stuff, and I go back to that imposter syndrome sometimes because I'd be sitting there overseeing a factory being torn down in Wrocław, Poland. Going, what the fuck am I doing here?
Right.
I don't know how to do this.
I so light on that application, but look where I am now.
No,
So-
it's
They were
beautiful.
paying you good money, and so it was just this really interesting transition. And it just, I don't know. I've been, again, very fortunate guy that I just kind of just step into things, and I said, yeah, I'll do it. I'll give it a shot.
Wow.
And the thing is, I'm always open to learning.
It's beautiful. Bro.
Just, I'll learn. If I don't know it,
You
I'll
can
learn it.
That's exactly how I feel.
Obviously.
I think
And
we
I'm not
all of us
afraid
in
to
this
say
room
I
are the
don't
same
know.
way.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say, I
Me
don't
neither.
get that. Show me how, or tell me how this works. Oh, cool. What
Yep.
if we tried it this way? Boom. You got a thing going.
That's
so,
the beautiful.
So, yeah, and then...
That's why we work. We think the same way. Our team here, we are exactly the same. Like we don't know it, we go find the answer, figure it out. Or one of us knows it, and the other ones don't. But we're cool with that because as long as it gets done, it gets done. It's a team.
Aaron's the only one of us who thinks he knows it all.
No,
No, I'm kidding.
I
That was a
say.
joke.
Well, I
does.
might.
He
I got
acts
a
like
good
it.
instinct that I think I'm right until I know I'm wrong, and then I have to fucking admit it.
I know it all
If
until
that
you give me
makes
something
sense.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. See how we all think a little weird.
And I'm just like, I don't know shit, and I will stop learning when I die.
Yeah, and then you usually teach us something that we don't know.
Well, that's how I get it. Fell into acting kind of thing. It's just like,
Exactly. I bet.
Yeah, so
You know?
lead us into that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, how the fuck did you get into acting?
Okay, well, my wife, Sue, would tell you that I've been an actor my whole life because I tell her all the stories, being Billy Bancroft and Green Acres Western, out there playing war in Grandma's barn. And I had all these imaginary soldiers with me. They all had names. They all had backgrounds.
I get it.
They were all your friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
They're
sorry.
still my friends.
I know.
So just so you know. But
It's only weird if you play with them in public. That's what my therapist says.
No, I would just make shit up all the time. And
Yeah.
so I did, when I was at Sterling, I did some corporate training videos. Just, there's this company that needed somebody to talk about real estate. Okay, I knew that through Sterling, so I did some of that. And then that kind of went away. Then Beck got sick, and we went through all of that. We lost her, and then that went away for a long time. And then when Sue and I, we were getting together for our engagement photos, and the photographer Kelsey Boyce out of Spokane, fine photographer. She was taking our pictures and all this stuff. And I love your energy. You guys are so much fun, that kind of stuff. And she goes, I have a friend. It's just at this agency. They're looking for mature guys. And she said it that way.
I love her.
Looking for some old mature.
Love it.
You're a certain demographic.
Yeah.
And she goes, do you mind if I send one of these in? I said, sure. And within a week, I was booked on that zombie show in Spokane, Z Nation.
Z Nation.
Z Nation.
Yeah.
We have,
And I was billionaire number 2.
No joke.
Okay.
I had this beard. It was much more cleaner and everything, and I had all my hair, and I was on several episodes of that season, and then
Awesome.
then I started going to Rick's class. Of
Okay.
course, Coach
Yeah.
Rick.
Coach
And
Rick.
well,
Yeah.
God, what a
So
godsend.
you met Coach Rick through Z Nation,
through that kind of
Yeah.
that thing. And
But you've actually met Coach Rick in person.
we have not yet.
Yeah,
oh,
we
that's
have.
right.
We
That's right.
haven't
That's
met
what he
him.
said.
Yeah, we're lazy. We don't want to. I drive to Spokane. I drive through really fast.
We adore
So
him.
I
We
keep telling
adore
y'all
Rick.
stuff I want
Fucking
to
love that
Spokane,
guy.
but I just keep driving really fast.
Yeah.
That's the coolest dude.
I have
He really is.
have learned so much from this man. He is
God, I bet.
phenomenal. He's
Yeah.
just every time I haven't been at classes much lately, and I'll explain why in a few minutes.
Yeah, you
but-
better, because he'll get pissed.
No, he won't.
Yes, I know. No, but then I started doing some of the stage work in Spokane, just taking small parts, and like, okay, this is kind of fun, And then, and I was going to Rick's class, stage left theater, civic theater, some stuff like that, and then I started doing a bunch of the student films. Eastern Washington have a film class. They're looking for old guys, and they're looking for all sorts of people. So I started getting calls, and you go out and do all these little short films, and learned. I just was learning and absorbing everything.
Just
I
like
could.
everything you've done in your life.
Yeah, and then season 5 came along, and I shaved off my beard, cut off my hair like it is now, and then I was colonel of the militia in Z Nation for season 5, until I took a bullet in the head, and that was it for that. But
Wow, cool, man.
and then I just started doing more, just lots of, and then commercials, TV commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like an old guy looking at a new Mercedes-Benz going, hey, I like that.
Fuck yeah.
And then you get paid for
You
this
get
stuff.
paid.
It's just so much fun
Yeah.
to go pretend, and I say pretend. I understand the concept. You become the character, and I get all that.
Right.
But I just like, I get to go play.
You get
Yeah.
to play.
Rick's words, you
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
go play.
You
And
get to
then
go play.
Give
they
your
hand
gift.
and then they hand, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they hand you a check.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Day's work, and you're walking
Yeah.
out of there, and you're like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! It wasn't even work. I just had fun.
And then that was about the time when my age and my facilities management started. No one was hiring
Mm-hmm.
graybeards anymore for this type of work, and I spent 2 years trying to stay in the industry, if you will.
Okay.
And I couldn't get a job. And believe it or not, that a week from today, I actually officially retire, and I'll start collecting my Social Security and things like that.
Yeah.
But I can finally quit work because I work a part-time job now for Dignity Memorial. They hire old guys to stand there at funerals and hand out pamphlets
Okay.
and deliver mail for them. And so I've been doing that part-time for a few years because and it's been perfect because it's so flexible, because my acting and all that has been ramping up.
Good.
Yeah, I
And
bet.
then
Great.
and then through that I started writing. And
Oh.
and I wrote a short film about 12 minutes long.
Okay.
And if we've got time, I can tell you about
I would
that.
love
Please
to
do.
hear it.
Yes,
Please,
please.
This
We
one
wanna
is
hear.
the movie I wrote. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I always keep a notebook next to the bed
Smart.
and I didn't know if it was a song or a monologue or a poem, and it turned out to be a movie.
Interesting.
And I titled it "Deep Into the Pool," and essentially I used the pool as a metaphor for life.
Okay.
And the movie starts with this young couple standing there with kind of their toes dipping in the water, coming back out, and that represents Becky and I when we first like, should we get together? Should we not? I don't know about that.
I could see that.
And then we finally get in the water, and then through some of that. Then the couple ages to a little bit older, and then she starts to drown, which represented her first liver transplant that she had in '96. Excuse me. And then get her back out of the water was her recovery.
Okay.
And then the man in the film, he started sinking. She brings him up, and that represented my bout with cancer. And then I got through that. And then we aged the couple, and then she sinks again, and she doesn't come up. And that represents her dying. Mm-hmm. And then we, there's nobody in the pool. So he goes to the deep end of the pool and just sinks to the bottom. That represented my dark time. Mm-hmm. Then slowly he walks out of the pool, turns around, looks at the pool, and goes away. Then we jump ahead a little bit. He's sitting on the edge of the pool, putting his toes in, and all of a sudden the hand comes out, and it's the lifeguard. And that represents Sue.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
dude.
Sue. Yeah.
And so they jump into the deep end of the pool because Sue and I only were together a while. And we're like, well, Christ, we're almost 60 years old. What
Fuck
are we
it,
waiting
let's go.
for?
Let's just go.
Let's jump
Yeah.
into the deep end of the pool.
Let's
Well,
do
plus
it.
you already knew each other from
Wow.
a bit
We
way
knew
back.
each-
So
exactly.
yeah.
So that was that movie.
Wow.
And
dude.
That's
so it was. I was really happy
awesome.
about, it, but it told me that I had stuff up here,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
and that I could write.
Yeah.
And so I wrote another script, the one that's in post right now. I don't know. It's called Vacant Lot.
Mm-hmm.
We're working with Mystery Ridge Movie Ranch outside of Coeur d'Alene.
Okay.
Amanda Steen, Jerry Bucksbaum, and this one. I just saw the rough cut. I'm just excited as
Oh yeah.
hell
As
about
fuck.
it. Yeah,
You could say it. You're good.
it's a feature length.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And,
good.
Right.
And I wrote it about, it goes to a day when my brother Chuck, who was my absolute best friend in the world, and we lost him in 17. And after he died, it reminded me of the time in 1976 that we were downtown Spokane. I was underage, but we were still sitting at the Broadway Tavern, drunk on our butts at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, we were kind of fuck-ups,
It's okay.
And so we leave the tavern and we go drive around. We're going to roll a joint, and but I couldn't roll while we were moving the car. So pull over. So we pull over next to this vacant lot in downtown Spokane, and so I'm sitting there trying to roll the joint. I'm just like, I don't know. Anyway, I look out the window and there's this homeless man crawling across the parking lot. I mean,
Wow.
it was his old suit. He was dirty. It was just, it was like, it just blew us away. It's like, whoa. And Chuck starts to get out of the car to help it. I got to help him. I go, Chuck, I'm 19. We got a half rack of Rainier back here and a $10 bag of pot, a lid, what we called it then. Back here, we can't. The police will be here. We got to get out of here. So we drove away. And I wrote a one-page thing about who was that?
Who was that dude?
Yeah.
What were his hopes and dreams?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Who was he? Who passed his knees when he was a little kid? Did he gonna end up like this? And I remember I ended it, my little thing on the man haunts me still. And so after Chuck died, I just started writing it about that, and of course it turns to fiction, obviously, where these two fuck-up brothers stop at a vacant lot, and they're on their way to Colville to dig up some pot for a small-time drug dealer. They're, so we'll get a few bucks, we'll go do this job. You see this old man sitting in the bar, in the vacant lot. Oh, dude, let's talk him into going. Let him dig it up. Oh, great idea. That kind of shit.
Right.
So they talk this guy into getting into the car, and I play the old man. Typecast, I know. And they don't use their real names. One guy goes, well, my name's Eric Clapton. My name's Jimmy Page. And so they name the old man because he doesn't say a word the whole movie.
Badass.
And they name him Ringo.
Okay.
And so they
I
then
see
they
where
head
you're
off,
going with
and then they
this.
head off to Colville. And so throughout the travels, they keep affecting other people's lives in a positive way, and they go through a transformation themselves. And is it because Ringo's there?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
Because
what
no
I
one
was
else in the
thinking.
movie ever sees Ringo. You don't really know that until you watch the movie and realize that no one ever sees Ringo.
Spoiler alert.
Gotcha.
No, that's-
Well, but it's easy to, but he's there, and they start
Yeah.
to reference him. Oh,
Right.
and then the phone rings or something, so
Right.
they don't get to finish the
Right.
conversation.
Wow.
And
That-
and then they go through this story arc, and then I won't tell any more about it, but it's the fact that they've. In fact, I'd be happy to send the pitch deck to you just so you see.
I'd
a little
fucking
bit
love to
about
see
that.
it. Dude, that's
Yes,
fucking great.
We would love that
But,
so much.
And then I wrote this thing, and I showed it to Rick.
Okay.
And I'd already been up to Mystery Ridge Movie Ranch, started doing script reads, things like that. With Dia Top, who was a fantastic writer. She's writing a miniseries. We were doing all these script reads. I got to know Amanda and Jerry. And then so he goes, "You got to show them." And I said, "Oh, I don't know. I don't want it to suck." I've never written a feature.
You're
Right,
back in
right,
the day,
right,
that little
right.
drummer boy.
Yeah, exactly. I
Right,
don't know. I
exactly.
kind of suck at this,
Yeah.
and so I sent it to him, and within a week, I was up at Mystery Ridge. They agreed to finance it, and we were in pre-production in May of 21. We started filming in October of 21. We wrapped the end of November 21. And then we kind of lost the weather, so we have 23 more scenes to shoot.
Okay.
Inserts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
COVID
yep,
and
yep.
stuff, like probably
Oh,
put a
just-
stopper.
Well, another thing to stop this is that one of the main characters in the movie is a 1971 orange Volkswagen,
Oh.
because that's what Chuck and I drove around. And so Jerry Buxbaum went out and found one.
Wow.
And then, but we had to turn it back in when the weather, we shut down production. But
Right.
over the winter, a tree fell on it.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Oh,
God
gosh.
damn it.
Crushed the son of a bitch.
Oh, no.
Of course.
Talk
right?
about a major recast.
And
Yeah,
that's
no,
that
I mean, like,
shit.
where do you find a 1971
Yeah.
orange Volkswagen? It has a luggage rack on top.
Right,
It
right.
sounds like a lawnmower. You've got to have the same damn
Yeah.
You gotta have it.
And-
You need continuity, bro.
Jerry came through. We got a
Man.
car.
Oh,
No,
And he's fashioning the luggage rack.
beautiful.
And it's just like, these guys at Mystery Ridge, I tell you, they really are good. And Amanda Steen is, I learned so much from her.
Mhm.
Because I'm sitting back next to the monitor over her shoulder. Even though I'm in the movie, I'm watching
you
it. 'cause
watching the
I
shit.
I got things to say about it because I'm very particular about my script.
Right. No,
Right.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. That's
But
great.
and so we got the car. We're got all the actors. We're getting them back together, the whole crew, and we're about the 12th or 13th of September. We're back on set, and
Knocking
we'll be
it
done.
out.
We'll be done by the 18th, and then we got to, we'll continue into post because I saw the rough cut just the other day.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
That's
You're
so
happy.
good.
It made Sue cry at the end.
Oh,
Aw.
man. That's fucking
I love that.
So at that point, I'm putting together musicians. We're going to play some of the background and
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
and then, but the thing that's really that I really am still trying to raise money for is that there's two particular songs I want. "Sunshine in Your Love" is for the opening credits,
Mhm.
Okay.
Sorry.
and then the main one is "Into the Mystic" by Van Morrison for the ending
Yeah.
credits.
Wow.
God,
Okay.
great song. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta have it.
Yeah.
I'm working
Yeah.
with Lionfish
So-
Music in Brooklyn, New York.
And how expensive?
Oh my fucking
It's
god!
It's crazy, right? To get a song.
It's more
like-
expensive than a brand new Volkswagen. 71,
and you're not
you know?
lying. It's so much.
It's so
yeah.
expensive. So,
Mhm.
but I could probably give a little bit on "Sunshine of Your Love," maybe cover that, even though you still have to pay. Even
Yeah.
if I record
The
it
usage
myself.
ratio.
Right.
Yep.
Not as
I gotta
much.
have Van Morrison's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in that point right now, getting ready for the reshoot, and we hope to have it out by next summer. is when we
Okay.
hope.
That's
It's-
fucking great.
Okay.
Then I've been writing absolutely like crazy.
Awesome.
I have another script. It's 128 pages called "A Journey." It's got some real life in there.
Great.
And I wrote that video that and that was my first directing. I directed that video. I've never directed before, but being a little bit of a control freak, I had to do it eventually. Yeah.
So he drums his ass off his whole life almost, and then realizes you're a good writer.
Yes.
You can direct, and you can do and you can act.
I
And
love
it's-
to
You can do all
produce
this.
too. I'm just
Yeah.
loving producing. People say I'm crazy for that, but
That's
I'm
cool.
enjoying that.
That's awesome.
I bet, man.
That's awesome.
It's
Whoa.
again, it's project management is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what producing is. So.
Yeah, very fun. Very
Anyway,
cool.
that was my.
What an exciting life you've had.
Buddy,
What
it's
a
it's
cool,
incredible.
exciting. Yes, it is.
It's incredible. And I
Yes.
love how you said, you just kind of want to stumble into these things and you don't know things and you're just like, fuck it, I can do it. I got to learn it.
But your determination to learn. and
Yeah.
your
That's what
passion
it's
is-
about.
What else? I mean, I turned 36 here in 2 weeks. Excuse me, 66.
I
here in 2
figured
weeks.
you were lying to us.
36
Well,
years.
yeah, I went for it. Didn't go.
Yeah, you
well.
did.
Well, yeah. No, I turned 66 in a couple of weeks. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
It's like I'm having a ball.
Yeah.
I love my acting. I really still enjoy doing that, but it's not my only focus now.
Yeah.
It's just my writing.
Yeah.
And I'm just having fun writing and the producing part.
And making a movie.
But just being an artistic person, which it
just-
sounds like you've been your whole entire
He
life.
has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm just
And you
having
got the
fun.
edge. Yeah.
Just having
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. And way to
beautiful.
go for figuring out how to have fun and still live. That's the thing I think is hard for people to figure out because it's hard being an artist and it's the whole starving artist thing. It's true.
It's absolutely
And
true.
and
Yeah,
you
it
have
is.
to. I mean, you go through that.
Mm-hmm.
All artists do.
Mm-hmm. Broke
So
as shit.
you know what? That's cool that you were able to find enough support and enough to get you through to have you have that life.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you said, people quit and they drop off because they can't do it or they don't have the support or whatever. They can't stick it out. But you did.
Well, and again, I was lucky the fact that I had that support, family
Yeah.
support, then Becky through the music, now Sue with my whole other career of acting. She's
Mm-hmm.
just so supportive of that. And so, I don't know. And
You're not giving yourself enough credit because some people have the support, but they don't see it.
That's true. And that's what I was going to say. I mean,
To recognize it as something entirely different. So credit yourself with that because if some people don't see it.
yeah.
Well,
And
and
they have it,
and Bill knows that. He's just he's a humble guy.
He's
man.
a humble guy,
You know when
He
I say
is.
you're a
except
badass.
if
you're-
I'm on cocaine, then I'm really cool.
Yeah, right. But you know you've got these gifts, and I know
Yeah.
that Coach Rick's told you that.
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
you definitely have it, and
It's
you've
true.
had it your entire life. It's
Oh, thank you.
You've
Yeah,
done some
yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
Man.
you have. And you still look damn good.
You know what? Whatever.
For all
dude.
the shit
I
you've
don't
been through.
care. You watch when I'm 66. You watch. I'll be done with it.
You think you'll make it to 66?
I hope.
You funny.
I
hope
don't know
so.
though. All my
Stop
clothes in
eating
my
salt.
closet have been shrinking. I don't know what
Happens.
Sue's doing. She's shrinking my shit because nothing. I can't button
So in other words,
anything.
she's a damn good cook.
That's
Damn good cook.
Damn good cook, but fucking does all the laundry on hot water. I swear to God, everything's shrinking
Shrinks
away.
everything.
Man.
At least she buys me my Reniers.
beautiful, dude. It's so cool.
Love it.
So,
No, there's
What a life.
yeah, there's stories you hear that always inspire you. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And people you meet, they're just like, what the fuck kind of life did that person have? And to hear, and well, I mean, even to see your smile, just the way you laugh about, this journey you fucking have. It's beautiful, bro.
Thank you.
It's fucking
Thank you.
cool.
It
It's
is
been
beautiful.
a great journey, and I've been having. I mean, there's been some real tough times. I mean,
Yeah. I bet.
Oh, yeah,
Obviously.
you've been shot at,
I
dealt
bet.
with
yeah,
Yeah.
shot at,
Those are
beat
all
up.
kinds of death, loss that you've dealt with.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, my other brother, my oldest brother, just passed just barely a year ago.
I'm sorry.
Just
Yeah.
so,
Proud-
yeah, there's
proud
been a
of
lot of loss,
not-
but
you will-
again,
You're not
it's-
immune to it, bro.
No,
no one
no.
is.
yeah, no, it's like, yeah, I've had loss, but millions of people have had loss.
Everyone
Yeah.
does,
I can't.
yeah.
I don't feel sorry for myself. It's
Yeah.
like I miss some desperate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But look what I have.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at what I have. The fact that I've got to fall in love again.
Yeah.
And I have 3
Yeah.
beautiful kids and 7 grandkids
Yeah.
Right,
and
brother.
friends, and I get to go. I get to write when I want to. I get to go play drums. I get to act.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, this is cool. I can do this for a while, as long as I'm still drawing a breath.
Yeah. And yeah, we lose
Yeah.
perspective sometimes.
We
There's
do,
points
and
in my
I
life
was-
where I've looked at what I've lost and it's fucked me up. You know what I'm saying?
Stay
And
stuck in that mindset, yeah.
when you start looking at what you have, you're better. You'll be
Because,
all right.
yeah.
You can make it through it then.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, like I said earlier, there's no doubts. I went real dark
Yeah.
after Becky passed,
I believe it.
and also losing Chuck, my best friend brother. That was tough, real tough.
Yeah.
It's still hard to talk about.
Yeah.
But again, I'd live this life over again with no changes if I had the opportunity. I wouldn't change a thing, not a thing.
Man,
why would I? All the good that I've had in this life. Yes, I've got some loss. Yeah, I've been shot at, and I've been had my ass kicked a few times, and I enjoyed cocaine too much, and I did some bad. I did some shitty things, but all the things I have, God damn right I'd live this life again.
Yeah.
Without one change.
Because you had fun.
beautiful.
And you have such beautiful things.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm just a lucky
That's
man.
great. It's
At least
very
tell
cool.
at least tell
Well,
me one of the women you had sex with was the ugly one. You had at least one ugly one. Right?
Did I mention Canada?
But they're clean.
I was
They
going
are
to say,
clean.
wait, Aaron, read the
ma'am.
book.
Free
Okay,
health-
if
I
everyone
gotta read the
wants
book.
to know
Free
if there was
healthcare.
any ugly women in Bill Bancroft's life,
Okay.
read the book.
Yeah, just for some reason, I just see all these hot women just flocking to him, and I'm just like, what? He's on like on a pyramid, and they're throwing little pickles at him, just like in real dreams.
No.
No? Okay, good. All right.
No.
Uh,
Not
Yeah,
only no,
read the
but hell
book.
no.
But gotta remember, the bars are dark, and when they're done, it's really fucking
All
light.
right, fair enough.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
my fantasy. I have an imagination too, Bill, if you didn't.
Well, yeah, and you have to wonder, like, how drunk were you? Was she was hot, but how drunk were you?
All about that drunk.
Oh, that's good.
Wait, did you ever wake up next to someone who wasn't who you thought you went to bed with?
Fuck yes. I mean, maybe once or twice.
Okay.
How was that?
That's so
Is that
That's
better?
good, yeah.
That was
I
better.
like that. I like
Yeah.
both answers,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Chew your arm off to get away. Fuck it.
Well,
I'll,
what's,
I'll learn to play like the guy from Def Leppard. I'm out of here.
what's scary
He
is when
did
you
play
wake
with
up
one
and
arm.
she chewed her off her arm to get away from me.
Right.
Oh no.
That was bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I remember there was one time. God, I don't even know what state this was in. Colorado, I think. Yeah, she wasn't real happy that she ended up with me, but
Oh.
she was very displeased.
With the performance?
No, she just thought I was the guitar
Well, there was
player.
one of those two, actually.
She was so
Okay.
drunk.
She goes-
she didn't know which one she got.
So
That's
she,
exact. She goes.
I didn't want to
And
fuck
she
the
goes.
drummer.
You're not Randy. No, I'm Bill. I'm the cool one.
You're not Susan either. So
I'm the
fuck it,
drummer,
let's
honey.
Go.
It's so yeah. I remember that one stuck in my head. That one didn't make the book. That's funny. Sitting here talking about. There's a lot of shit I
That
didn't.
didn't
put in the book? Yeah.
I was gonna say
Kind of coming out through this.
I didn't hear about that,
That's-
but I did hear about the
That's
woman
fun.
who wasn't happy with your performance.
Shit, I hear that all the time.
She thought I was a great drummer. She thought it would carry over to other
Yeah,
areas.
yeah. No,
I didn't know how to use all the sticks.
Yeah, I got a couple beats and I'm good. Yeah, this is one of those. It's just a quick little medley. We're out.
Not only
Yeah,
was
really.
he learning how to
Yeah,
drum,
just a couple
but
bars and a chorus, and I was gone. So, yeah, she wasn't real happy with that. Maybe that's the one in Colorado. I
Oh
don't
well. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Can't
but like the
can't
drums,
please
you
everybody.
got better, I'm sure.
Shit, I gotta start playing the drums more.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, well.
Oh man, dude, it's been an honor.
Yes,
Thank
it
you
has.
for joining us.
Yes, it
Oh, I
Absolutely.
appreciate you having me. I admit that I was nervous about this.
Oh.
Well, I've done a lot of radio interviews, but I always had like the other band members around me.
Sure,
or
sure.
Okay.
something like that.
Get
I've
you back
never-
up.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
I've never had it me.
Just you.
And it's odd. It's like when I would come out front, but be behind the drums or come out and just play congas or tambourine. It's like, whoa, I'm out in front of everybody.
Shit, they can.
It's-
Shit, they can see me.
Yeah, I'm used to being behind drums my whole life.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So this is a bit of a exposure to me, and not in a good way. It's
Well, hopefully
you gotta
we
be
made
careful,
you
though.
at least feel somewhat comfortable.
Well, I'll guarantee you that there's going to be a lot of people that enjoy hearing
Yes.
about you and
Yes.
your life
Well,
and,
thank you.
and
I
your
just-
talents. So,
Well,
yeah.
I've always told myself that I know I have a strong ego. I mean, you can't be in the industry.
That's what I've been trying to tell these guys.
Okay, but you go too far. Anyway.
Okay,
no,
fair enough.
but
You have a strong ego walking into the store.
Yeah, I do. I mean, you got to carry it. But go ahead.
But the only thing that matches my strong ego is my crippling self-doubt.
Oh, what's that?
Nice.
And, yeah,
I don't
Aaron,
have that.
No, but that's what.
Aaron goes, what's self-doubt? What is that?
But that's
I don't even know how to
that's
spell that.
always kept me even
It
keeled.
keeps you
Yeah, I
humble,
get it.
yeah.
You step in. I mean, back when I was at Sterling Bank as the vice president of blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
You're standing in front of people, giving them a presentation and all this stuff about numbers and $6 million for this and that. And I remember something that I think, I'm a drummer,
Yeah.
or I'm a baker, or I'm it's like I don't belong here.
Yeah.
But apparently I did.
Yeah. No, I get it. I used to do loans for them, and I do think the same thing. Like, they're trusting me to make sure they get in this right position. And then they leave, and I'm like looking down at my notepad, and I see like notes for the movie I'm writing, right? So I don't forget when I get home to type that in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like silly. It's just like, God,
Well,
you guys just don't know.
That's what the thing I like about being on set, especially with Mystery Ridge, because they're so open and loving. And Amanda would always say, we don't usually let writers stand over the director's shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
But
And you're like, I'm Mr. Bancroft.
Yeah, but I'm in this bitch,
Yeah,
so I guess you have to put up with me.
Yeah.
I'm a drummer. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a fucking
Yeah.
drummer. That's right. You sound like Happy Gilmore. I'm a hockey player. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
It is great.
But,
That's awesome.
Oh,
so
man.
there we are.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
That's kind of me. I'm still looking forward to getting my next. I am going to my movie, A Journey. I mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm actively seeking funds and starting to look to finance that thing.
Okay.
That's right. Oh, yeah,
And
we were
you're-
going to talk about that,
yeah.
too, with the Filmworks and stuff.
And real
Washington
quick, can you
Filmworks,
talk
yeah.
to us about that real quick? 'Cause
Yes.
Sure.
We have to get to an ending here, but
Yes.
we want to know about
I need
that
to know that,
first.
too.
We
Yeah.
need to know about that.
Unfortunately, it's not as. I just found out. I went to the meeting a couple weeks ago in
All right.
Spokane.
Yeah, and this is Washington State, people, so hear this out.
Yeah, and so the incentive through Senator Marcus Rosselli, good for him, went from I think it was $3.5 million, and now it's $15.5 million
something. Yeah.
incentive, and that's cool.
Help filmmakers make movies.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I
Yep.
went to this meeting, and there was a lot of a few filmmakers from Spokane, a lot of crew type people,
Okay.
and I don't think I even saw any actors there. But anyway, and so we're having the meeting, and they split us up in two groups, and and so we went through it. They wanted to hear from everyone about what they would like to see the Washington Filmworks do more of it. So it was more of a discussion of where should we be concentrating our efforts, and a lot of the discussion came around diversity, more women in film, more women in and minorities and things, which is I
Totally
100%
cool.
All about
support.
it.
Totally
Yes.
cool. Absolutely.
All about it.
Yep.
And then we got to the financial part, and then she got to the part where to get even considered for a dime one, you have to have your own $500,000. And I raised my hand. I go, "Excuse me, if I had $500,000, I'd make 3 movies."
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So how does that benefit new, small, fledgling
It doesn't.
filmmakers?
Filmmakers.
It
And she
doesn't.
goes, and she, to her credit, she talked about it, danced around a little bit and
Sure.
everything. And I asked her if I could come in to sit down with her on a one-on-one. And I'm in Seattle. I said, well, I'm going to be in Seattle here. And so I had a meeting actually scheduled with her for tomorrow.
And you were supposed to come here and
Here and then there. And then I
Yeah.
thought I had that TV commercial,
Yeah.
Anyway, I found out just before I came over here that she had to cancel my meeting.
Dang.
For whatever reason,
Yeah.
conflict of schedule,
Yeah.
whatever. I mean,
Yep.
I don't
Could
think
happen.
anything nefarious about it. That
Sure.
Yeah.
shit happens.
Shit
Yeah,
happens.
Because I really wasn't. I had a few notes, but it wasn't going to be. I didn't have a big old agenda or presentation to give. I just wanted to go and go like,
What the
What the
fuck is
fuck?
up? Yeah, I get you, dude. I know what you're
Yeah.
saying. I speak your
And the-
language.
and
we're supposed to
yeah.
make movies and keep these people, everyone engaged and working and
Yeah.
seeing Washington as a
Yeah.
hub, as a place you can go.
Yes.
Right.
And aside from the big guys, if they
Yeah.
500,000, that's nothing to some of these.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
So
But
where
this
does
little
that-
guys, it's a lot.
It's a little.
So I wanted to pitch that at her,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I wasn't going to. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
make a strongly worded email and send it
Good
soon.
for you.
And but I'm not. I don't want to alienate anybody. I just want to understand.
Yeah.
Or is there any further discussions?
Yeah.
Is there any possibility that some of that could flex, if
Yeah,
you will.
yeah.
You
well,
know,
yeah.
there's
Exactly.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
got to be a lower threshold for that kind of incentive. It's got to be
Yeah.
lower. I mean,
Well, and for me, it's like, at what point do you stop making it about the money? At
Yeah,
what point? You know what I
exactly.
mean? It's like you have to have money to make money, almost.
it's
And
the same
people are
philosophy.
so
It's always been
greedy
that way.
that it tends to be that way. And guess what? How many millions of talented people there are that get pushed under the rug or swept under
Left
the rug
in the dust.
because of that reason. And
Yep.
it's so sad because they're
It's bullshit.
so talented. And you
It's
watch this
bullshit.
stuff
This
that's
stinks.
like the stuff that's out there in the stream and that our kids watch and all this stuff, and you're like, gosh, I know people there. I don't mean to insult anyone that's doing art. However, I know people that are so much, more entertaining or better at what they're doing
Said
than
thing.
this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
There's
you just
so
get
much
in because
talent.
you got money or you know someone
Right,
who knows
right.
someone.
And that's
and it's not fair. It's
so
not
much
right.
talent.
So why do they need
Yeah.
the incentive?
Mhm.
They don't.
The
Those
problem,
kind of people don't.
The problem is I want to support this because it's Washington State and it's where we are
Absolutely.
and all that stuff, and we have a kind of a voice out here that's being
Yeah.
paid
I do.
attention to.
Mhm.
Yes.
But
yes, and we're
The,
trying
ins-
to
the
open
incentive is a
that.
catch-22
Yeah.
because basically the incentive is to try and get Hollywood to come up here and work.
Correct.
We don't want
The problem
Hollywood.
Exactly.
is
We
the-
don't want Hollywood.
the
We
No,
don't
we
want
don't.
Hollywood.
The
No, I'm
problem
with you.
And
I'm not selling my
their
soul.
aspect of what they're saying is the fact that if we get Hollywood up here, then you have local crews working, you can get some local casts working,
you probably
but it's
get local
not
talent.
supporting the independent film
No, it's
industry.
not.
Middle
That's-
class-
that's
as
exactly
Middle class
right.
writers,
filmmakers.
producers,
Yeah.
and directors.
There's
Yeah.
so
It's
many of
not.
us out there. There's so much talent
Yes.
up here.
I hear you,
Front,
brother.
back of the camera, writing all the stuff,
Yep,
and
yep.
they can't get seen, heard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
or you're limited
Yep.
by your budget or,
Yep,
or
yep.
whatever. And so
Yep.
it's just it's just so
Yeah.
frustrating. Now that I've become writer and now producing, it's just more and more in my face.
Yeah.
Now you see
Because
it.
I'm just so
Yeah.
passionate about my other projects. I
Yeah.
want to get these
Yeah.
things made.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get them made. I don't know how, but I'm going to.
Yeah. which is exactly why I've seen the Washington stuff going on. I've seen the,
Yeah.
the meetings that we're going to be held. I see people posting it and asking you to come and they tag you in it, come and
Yep.
be a part of this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I knew exactly what Chuck said. That's the thing. This isn't
Yeah.
supporting indie filmmakers at
It's
all.
not
supporting
the way
this-
they should be.
Not at
supported.
all. No, I mean,
100%.
yeah, I think there is that incentive, I guess, for a way to draw these bigger budgeted productions up here.
But that's not what we need.
But you
It's
know,
not what we
there's got to
need.
be a way to help every fucking
Well,
buddy.
that's part. I mean, it's part of the thing.
Yeah, it's part
of it.
Well,
Crew
absolutely. I mean, you
and
have to have
stuff.
money to do
But
things.
what about, like you said, the individual filmmakers,
individual
the writers
filmmakers.
and stuff? What voice do we have?
Zero.
Right.
Zero.
Right.
Right.
And
that's
that's the part that
and
drives
that's what
me
they do.
crazy.
And that's what the funny part of it is 15.5 million because they are the way it's structured at being a $500,000 base and bringing up $15.5 million incentive is laughable to Hollywood.
It's a
They
joke.
they go to fucking Atlanta where they're at like $180 million incentives right now.
Yeah.
California is looking at pushing a $1 billion incentive to stay in California.
Correct.
For filmmakers to stay
Yeah,
there.
you can't compete with that.
No, you
And I
can't.
want to support us. I want to be telling everybody, yeah, bring them up here. Let's make something up here.
Yeah.
But
or incentivize us here already to make it.
right.
Yeah.
Let us compete.
Yeah, let us
Yeah.
compete.
Let us
because,
compete.
And I'm with you on that because
agree.
I would love it
totally,
too, but I just
Yeah.
I know that's not what that's
And
not how
that's-
they wrote it.
they don't
And
give
it
a
sucks.
fuck.
Well,
Exactly
in
right.
a competitive world, we can stand up against the people who have all that money and are doing all those things. That's the thing.
Well,
It bothers me about this area and how we're kind of. I mean, it's just underrated around here because
It is.
the people
Oh,
are
absolutely.
so. There's so much talent.
But that's the secret.
Tremendous talent.
That's the secret to me. And I'm not speaking for anybody else here, but I honestly think you can do something that competes with some of these bigger budget movies if you do them right with the talent we have up here for way less. And we could figure it out together. And when we make those type of movies consistently
And
and
put
we
'em up
shine
against
up
those
here
big
and we show
movies.
how much money we're fucking making on these streaming platforms by having fucking peanuts when we made these movies and everybody sacrificing their asses off out there, their time and everything else, their money, all of it to show how good they are. And you get that shit up there, and then you go to these fucking places, and you're like, oh, well, we saw that. I've seen how much money you made at fucking Tubi or Amazon or whatever you did. You've got what we call in the banking industry leverage,
Right.
Exactly.
Well,
you know. And then
yeah.
they're gonna be wanting to throw money at your next thing and your next thing. And you know what? Maybe at that time we don't fucking need it.
I don't know, but you got to
And
get them to.
that's how I feel. Like
no,
fuck 'em.
Yeah, you got to get their attention somehow, and that's what Bill's talking about is
Yes.
you got to grab their attention somehow without having that matching their money
The-
or whatever.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to get it with your, you somehow.
Yeah,
There's a
and
way.
I
You're right,
believe
there's
in
a
the
way.
people up here. I've seen them. We've worked with them. I know.
Yeah.
I told
know
them
it.
I was. I told her at the end of the meeting. I go, honestly, I'm completely deflated.
Right.
I came in here. In
This is supposed to be an
meeting,
incentive meeting.
I was so excited about this meeting. I'm going home, going, well, fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And that's how
is
I
a
just.
flop.
So that's why I tried to schedule a meeting, and
Yeah.
it didn't work out this time. But
Yeah.
I'm still going to come over here, and I'm still
Yeah.
going to sit down
Yeah.
across the table for
Yeah.
her because why not?
Yeah.
Let us know when
Yeah.
you come back. Maybe we'll do round 2.
Well,
Yeah, it's rough.
I believe in
Absolutely.
you. I
I'd be
believe in
happy
you
to.
Yeah.
with your passion
Thank
for
you.
your art and your humbleness. I think that the balance will make people listen. And I
Absolutely.
think that you have a voice that can work and for us all.
Yeah.
If you were to speak for us all in
Oh,
this
and
film industry here locally, I would want you to represent us.
I would
I'd
be
like,
happy
yes.
to. I want getting to know
Yeah.
you guys. I want because we're all kind of doing the same
We're
thing.
Yeah.
We're
doing
all
it together, brother.
So we,
Yep.
let's be
Together.
Let's be partners in
Yes.
this stuff,
That's right.
whatever
Yes.
it is.
Yep. That's
So-
exactly it.
That was our
And-
whole philosophy is join together.
Yep.
That's what we
Exactly
do.
right.
And that was the whole reason why we started this podcast, because we wanted to build a family
Mhm.
of people that are like minds, that are talented,
Mhm.
that we could all work together and make something amazing
Yeah.
that would jaw drop the people with all the money.
That's
and
exactly
we
what
make
I'm
it
talking
with
about.
nothing.
That's what
we
I'm
make
saying.
it with nothing, just raw talent.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's what
nothing
we're
else.
hoping for
Yeah.
with Vacant Lot. I
Mhm.
gotta
Yeah.
Badass.
pitch that out there again.
Yeah.
Do it.
It's a very dialogue, character-driven. The
Mhm.
most action in the whole movie is when he drops a joint in his crotch. That's
That's a
as
lot of
much
action.
as you're gonna see in the movie.
Badass.
But it's done well.
I
No
believe.
actors
I believe
were,
your
no
brother.
actors
Well, we didn't
were
even
harmed
use
in the
a-
making of the film.
Yeah, we didn't even use a stunt double on that or anything.
Oh, that's
so.
Oh,
funny.
it's beautiful.
I know. I just wanted to throw out one more
Please
thing.
do,
that-
please
Yeah,
do.
please do, yeah.
One of the reasons that we're pushing the book again is that Colin is just posted the video that goes with this book today, and we're going to be issuing like an epilogue to the epilogue.
Okay.
Okay.
Electronically only, because so much has happened
Oh.
since 2018
Right.
to 2022. So we're going to reissue a few more chapters
Okay.
of the book, and then the video that the walking shoes video. I hope
Beautiful.
you get a chance to watch
Yes.
it. So
That's awesome.
And everyone listening, this book is amazing.
Yeah.
And
Where can
I-
people get your
Yeah,
book?
where can they?
Amazon.
There you go.
Yeah, I used to be at some bookstores in Spokane, but they gathered dust, and so I pulled them.
Okay.
And so it's just strictly Amazon. I used to sell them from the stage, but then I got fired from my band, so I don't have that.
I got you.
So,
What's the title of the book again?
Tales from the Road?
Tales from the Road.
Stories of sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Boom.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
If you ever want to know what it's like to be in a band and live on the road and have chicks throwing themselves at you.
Man, I do.
And I'm a girl, and I am thoroughly enjoying this book.
I
So
know you are.
even as a female, you will enjoy this book.
I'll bet.
Anybody will enjoy this book. It's great.
a friend, an actress friend of mine. She goes, when I got halfway through your book, she goes, God, am I gonna still like Bill now? Because she read some stuff. Then she decided that I was okay.
Yeah,
She had a couple minutes of like, God, what a dick.
Well, I never thought that. I just say.
because I wasn't a dick.
No,
I
you
just
were not.
I
No,
just
you were not.
Used it a lot. In the
And I've met a lot of them, so I know.
Hey,
Anyway,
Where
Bill,
one-
Bill, do me a favor. Let me know when your sales start dropping so I can put my book out because I don't want to blow you up. You know what I mean?
okay.
Oh,
They're dropping.
That would be the shortest fucking pamphlet of Aaron's life you would ever read.
Oh man, I had to throw
Especially
that
when she
there.
gets to the sex part.
It's fun. Yeah, it'd be one chapter. It's good. It's a good chapter. It's good.
Wait, what?
It's a
Is
two-sided
that an insult
pamphlet
to
folded
me?
in
or
No,
an
no,
insult to
him.
yourself?
No, no,
Black
because then
women.
I'd get to the good parts with you. You know, I'm talking about my sex life prior to Sam. It's
Oh.
I'd have like 2 pages about a boat.
Until I
You know, that's about it.
it.
Yeah, I was
Put
on
up
a
with
boat
my
with
shit.
Chuck. Yeah, I was a pimp on the boat. You know, when you had all those girls coming
Oh
at
my
you.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not
I went on a
Sure.
cruise with Chuck, and they were all after me. It was great. It was great.
Well, because they thought you were the drummer.
He thought he was something. He lifted up his shirt or something.
Yeah, I was singing what was it, Santana?
Yes.
Yeah, smooth. Yeah,
I also got some
Careful.
inside
No,
scoop
no.
on the girls though, and
Well, yeah, but Bill, like I said, there's like they may have been from Canada.
Yeah, I was
Who
just gonna
knows?
say, are they from Canada?
No, actually, they were from Tennessee. Why am I the only one who remembers?
No,
Because
one
I
was from
not
Florida,
completely drunk.
one was from Florida, one was from Canada.
Battle of the Hotties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing against Canadians.
Okay.
No, yeah, nothing at all. Yeah, they're actually very nice people. All right.
With-
Well,
and usually pretty clean.
yes. I guess that's it, Sam. You got anything else?
Nope.
Nope. You're good. All right.
No.
Thank
Bill,
you.
it's a
I mean, I
fucking
have
pleasure,
a lot,
man.
and
I know, we could
I
keep
could
going.
talk to Bill for.
It's so
Thank
fun.
you guys. I really appreciate this. Like I said, I
So
was
much fun.
hesitant, and nervous, but now I'm thinking, why?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I had fun.
I'm
It's
going
beautiful. I'm
to
glad you
some
did. I'm
strange
glad you did.
person's house in a place I've never known, and it's
With an
and
annoying
it's
dog.
Not anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not that close to the freeway.
With 3 loud mouths that talk over each other all
But
the time.
I've watched
Beautiful
the
thing.
show, so I know it's like talking to a paranoid schizophrenic at one time.
And Chuck, you might as well continue and close the show out.
Oh, well,
Go
I'd
ahead.
love to. Well, I would
Continue.
like to say this for sure. Bill, thank you very much for stepping out from behind the drum set and from behind the camera and exposing yourself to our audience.
Oh.
That is always enjoyable for everyone watching.
Don't forget to thank Rick for.
Coach
I
Rick.
don't have to thank Coach Rick. He
Yes,
knows
you
we
do.
appreciate him every single day.
That's
Thank
true.
him
He
again.
should.
Everybody can and everybody can feed us whoever they want to be on our show because that is how we are. And Rick likes to feed us because damn it, sometimes we're hungry.
Thank
Sometimes
you,
we're hungry
Rick.
for his knowledge.
Yeah. And I'm going
Sometimes
to
we're hungry
interject
for
some
his friends.
real
Okay.
quick. Sorry.
Everybody's
Dan.
been interrupting the fucking.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Glad I'm
I'm-
doing an
I've
outro.
never- I've
so I
been
don't-
on
I'm so sorry. I just
before.
want to.
I know how this
I
works.
just want to plug Coach Rick real
I should
quick
have
because
fucking just said thanks for being here. Bye.
actors. If you need Coach Rick, you hear his segments on our show. He
Yeah.
leaves his email. We put it in the show notes. thecoachrick@gmail.com. If you got any questions for this guy, he would love to hear from you. So please
Yes.
reach out to him.
Highly
All right,
recommend.
he's
Yes.
got your back. So
Yes.
don't fuck around.
He's got your backs. He's got our backs. He's a back guy. So so just watch out where you're walking because
Oh.
he just likes to get you from behind.
I
Anyway,
call him-
but
I
we
call him a
love
gift.
Coach
He's a
Rick.
gift.
He is a gift. He makes Sam cry, and half the time she leaves the show
But-
because she can't stop crying.
Yeah.
That's just the way things roll around
But
here.
it's yeah.
It's a good
But
cry.
it's
Bill.
good cries.
Bill, yeah, big boners for Rick. Thanks, Rick. But Bill, thank you for joining us tonight around the rail.
Thank you for having
coming
me.
over
Thank
for.
you.
I'd say a
I
cup
really
of coffee.
enjoyed it.
But we have water, we have alcohol. It's an evening shoot, so thank you. For
Now I'll take
driving.
that drink.
I know, and
Yeah.
obviously we've had
I'm
enough
sorry,
alcohol.
I actually drank it all.
We're gonna have one before.
And I'm just gonna fuck up another intro because outro because everybody keeps talking.
Sorry, Chuck.
It's okay, but it's okay. Thank you for joining us
Thank
today,
you.
Brooks. Thank you for
so
taking
much.
the journey from one side of the state to the other side of the state, which is 6 hours over mountains, through the hills, and across the plains.
It was hard.
to actually get here.
Yeah.
And
It
fight
is
and,
hard.
and out of all of that, fighting the fucking traffic because traffic around here sucks balls because it's Washington State, and even though it sounds like a good tax incentive, it probably really sucks. But still, I appreciate you, my friend, for joining us today on Around the Rail. And everybody, I remember, think hard because you're thinking anyway.
We'll see everybody later.
Bye.
For those of you that want to be a guest on Around the Reel, please email Sam at aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
That's Around the Reel 253@gmail.com.
Not Messenger. Do not message Aaron on Messenger because then he has to send you a message that says email Sam at aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
That's Around the Reel 253@gmail.com.
How come they can't just message me again?
Because nobody wants to fucking talk to you.
Can anybody reach out? That's an artist, filmmaker, actor.
If you're an artist of any kind, we want to hear from you.
But we are going to vet the crap out of you.
We don't care if you make millions of dollars in Hollywood or if you're just beginning your career in the art industry. We don't care. So everybody that wants to be on Around the Reel, yes, we want you.
That's Around the Reel 253@gmail.com.